Hi, hello, welcome to tonight's mini series. I guess we can call it moving forward. So we have a small cast. We have Brittany returning. I don't know where y'all are located. Brittany's returning. We have Garrett, we have Sam, and we have Justin, who is now taking the player's seat.
Whoop whoop.
I am Lex. I will be the DM of this mini series. Effectively, this will be pretty much called Tales from Del Nazra from Ashen Earth.
Whoop.
Before we get started, I will do a small announcement because our lovely Kate, who is not doing this campaign, but in our main campaign, she does have a Redbubble. It is KR Theater. So, yeah, Go on Rebel will do that. She does have an Etsy shop, but it's currently closed. But whenever she reopens, I'm sure she will address it. Outside of that, Justin or others, do you have any announcements before we get started?
Uh, the Rhyme Throne will be back next Wednesday. Well, we
Whoop
record
whoop.
next Wednesday, so it'll be back next Thursday.
Perfect. All
That's
right.
it.
So, everybody sit back for a moment as I do our introduction. At the heart of Del Nazra lies the scarred continent of Felrynthus, a vast expanse of ashen wasteland. After the end of the Grand Restoration, it remained fairly desolate, cursed, and ravaged by what was referenced as the Scourge of Wings, a brutal conquest led by the followers of the five-headed Dragon Queen herself. These draconic terrors scored and scoured the land, leaving ruin in their wake. Civilizations fell, lands were razed, and life ended. What remained was nothing but gray dust and silence. With the Grand Restoration's end, with the Grand Restoration ended, but in its wake, Del Nazra was forever changed. The first emerald buds slowly pierced the ash. Life had returned. Word spread quickly. Felrynthus lived once more. Survivors, wanderers, and dreamers journeyed to this broken land, daring to hope. The first to set foot upon this fragile soil were the Vertilis Contingus, a coalition of naturalists, druids, and guardians of life. Bound by blood and oath, they established strict laws to protect the fledgling wilderness. No trees could be felled, nor root disturbed until the land could bear such a burden. And so they waited, they watched, and they nurtured. They founded Ashfall, the first city built within Felrynthus since the Age of Dragons. Its stones ferried from distant lands and its timbers shipped across the oceans. Rising from the dust, Ashfall stood as a beacon of renewal. To its south spread the Osterwood, a gray-barked forest whose trees held the power to purify, their bark distilled into medicine and salvation for a poisoned world. The lake beside Ashfall became the Great Osterloch, a shining jewel of fresh water. Rivers carved by calloused hands and ancient magics fed the lesser Osterloch, and life began to spread thoroughly through the South Ashlands. In time, explorers uncovered a gaping wound in the earth, a vast ravine stretching 8 miles wide and fathoms deep. They called it the Scar, and over it they raised a bridge unlike any before, the Dragon's Spine Crossing. Built from the bones of ancient worms, it took years and cost lives, but the bridge stood complete, linking the north and south, life and mystery, past and future. In its northern edge, the wilderness lay untouched as the South Ashlands continued to thrive. The North Ashlands beckoned for secrets yet unearthed. And through this came the rise of Dragon's End, the capital of the North Ashlands, so named after the looming mountains crowned by bones of a great slain worm. Temples soon followed, sanctuaries that welcomed all gods. Explorers launched expedition to distant isles, Goat Isle, Otterland, Isle of Mains, and Bear Atoll, each brimming with life found nowhere else. These sanctuaries were now forbidden to all except the most worthy, protected by decree. And still the continent swells with life. The Osterwood's purifying bark becoming Felrynthus's greatest export, yet the balance is fragile. Laws are strict. Settlers may not build outside designated areas. Harvesting beyond permission brings exile. The land once dead must not die again. But we are looking to the future. The year is 315 PR, or post restoration. The Vertilis contingus has long since shifted to a name more commonly known as the Verdant Walkers, easily embraced by common tongue. With such a shift came a move to a more centralized location for the conclave, within the heart of the Varan Woods, upon the edges of the Varan Wood Lock. Here is the thrumming heart of a thriving society of naturalists and conservationists, all driven by the nurturing and protecting of the continued growth of life within Felrynthus. But this is not where we find our group. Not yet. Though dutifully employed by the Verdant Walkers, we find them on assignment. Nearly 2.5 days' travel outside of the Varan Wood, the group has traversed over the hilly wastelands to find themselves setting upon the edges of the Rosewood River. Their mission? To investigate and gather a seemingly new and unidentified species of fungi that seem to be heavily attracted to rose honey, an export from the rosewood. The report came via a small inland village that had provided the conclave with various pots of honey. The day is coming close to an end as you are about midway through your travels. You can see as you crest one of the last rolling hills before it settles onto a more flat and solid landscape. You can see off in the distance the distant visage of the rosewood. You can see the river that cuts through, and you could just start to make out the tops of buildings that are kind of cresting over some trees. You have about an estimated 3 or so hours, but with each step that you take guiding yourself closer. I will start with introductions. So, who would be helming the lead? Who would be taking point in this endeavor forward? Oleander, I will call on you. Oleander, you were insistent on taking a cart for quite a while. You had supplies, you knew that you needed them, but the conclave deduced that it was the way that your trek would take you. It would not be suitable for the landscape. So you begrudgingly packed extra. Your bag is bulbous and large, stuffed with anything and everything you could think of. Some things that might seem tedious, and other things that you know are a necessity and you know are for the good of the group. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Oleander Aleheart, and I'm a dwarf. Red hair, red beard. I have a lot of other things I carry on my person. I have an axe. It's an heirloom from a da. And very well-worn boots that are... You can tell that they have a number of new parts to them from keeping them in shape. And I suppose he's just walking along and it's just like, all right, how are everyone's shoes?
And as Oleander asks this, taking point by an Oleander is if it could, it would clack across the ground as each step, the tip of the cane finds small purchase in this dusted, ashen wasteland. But the pale skin, but the well-dressed individual, Sam, Dr. Thomas, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
All, all right, Dr. Thomas here. Dr. Thomas he's actually probably got the cane tucked under his arm and has got his journal out and is just kind of muttering to himself and scratching notes into it as we walk. Um, he is it's medium to tall, somewhere in the upper 5 foot range, not quite 6 feet tall. Little pencil thin mustache, well combed hair, nice clothes with some what does he have? Padded armor? What is studded leather armor on over it, but like an ascot under that. Paper white skin. Um, and then smoked lens glasses, so sunglasses. Uh, and he holds a very nice, fairly nice looking cane, just a walking stick that he says currently tucked under his arm. He's wearing gloves and he's scribbling away at his notes. Just, what? Where are we? What's going on? Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was doing some writing. We're fine. Nothing dangerous.
All right. As the exclamation of nothing dangerous leaves Dr. Thomas's lips, skulking behind them, much taller than most of the members of the group, you hear the slight creak and groan as if you're listening to a heavy wind blow against a tree, as each step seems to be small impacts into the earth. Gallus, why don't you go and introduce yourself?
I'm not going to do the voice yet, but Gallus takes on the appearance mirroring a tree. His skin looks like twisted, gnarled, jagged gray bark. Two antler-like branches protrude from his forehead like horns, draped in curtains of white moss speckled with patches of deep dark blue. He's about 6'2", lithe, sinewy. In some of the natural gaps and ridges along his body, a few small insects can briefly be seen scurrying through the crevices. Somewhat retains an elf-like appearance. Ears, a defined jawline, instead of eyes, two dark hollows, reminiscent of those seen in old gnarled trees, and within the hollows glow the dim yellow lights of two singular fireflies in each eye socket. Moose-like antlers that look like willow branches draped in moss. No visible nose. A jagged jack-o'-lantern-like mouth where more of that firefly-like light emanates from within. He has shoulder-length thin strands of hair, kind of like Aragorn's, but made of, again, white moss with more of those patches of blue, and occasionally you can see a beetle scurrying through it. Growing out from his shoulders is a natural shawl of the same kind of colored moss as his hair. It's white moss speckled with patches of dark blue. His shawl and some black roses grow out from it. He has clawed hands, and wrapped around one of his fingers at all time is a centipede. Tattered dark brown pants, torn asunder, stained with decades-old blood and mud. Some of his skin is protruding through the pants. He wears knee-high brown leather boots, weathered and old-looking, also stained with decades of mud. The occasional hole because his feet are very bark-like as well, and they kind of just erode the material naturally. Wears a shitty leather belt with some stuff in it, just assorted herbs and flowers. He has a water skin made from the bark of a tree, and kind of as he walks, he's holding in his hand a large gnarled staff, at the end of which sits the head of a scythe that is serrated and kind of gleams in the light. And fastened around the head of the scythe is a small, kind of dirty lantern.
And taking up a few paces to the tree entity's space, you see a stout, squat individual that is surprisingly, even though has a normal walking speed, everybody else seems to walk just a little bit faster. Bud, why don't you go and introduce yourself?
What you see coming up behind in the back is Bud. And they are the frizziest hair you will ever fucking see. It doesn't matter how humid it is. It doesn't matter the right conditions. It is frizzy. No curly hair method will work for him. It does not matter. They have tried everything. You see them. They are a deep gnome. They're very short. They are probably about 3 feet tall. They're fairly fucking short and stout, but don't let that fool you. They will make sure to get up in your business, metaphorically and or physically. Their appearance, they look very, very druid-like. They look so full of plants. They have citronella weaved within their boots. They have diatomaceous earth that lines their belts and their pouches. But if you catch in the light peeking through, you can see some of this armor that's underneath, which that's kind of weird if they would be a druid. They don't wear metal armor, so they obviously. But what if? No, no. There's something off about this one that's looking right there. It's a little off, but there's a lot of things off about this little one. You hear them muttering about the potatoes and the pestilence and the famine, and you hear them as the doctor mentioned, saying that nothing. The fuck was it that he said nothing, nothing to be afraid of, nothing alarming around here? I think that's what Sam said.
Sure.
And they're just muttering in the back, just nothing to be afraid of or worried here. You've never had to deal with the fucking Zebrahim muscles that have gone from the one land-bearing vehicle to the other land, and the next thing you know, there's no predators around there, and you just hear them muttering to themselves about invasive species.
Okay. As the group continues making their way down this hill, some points of order that you would all be aware of. The village that you are going to is referred to as Goldmire. It is a mix of a honey-producing village as well as a fishing village, though they mainly export those small exports, nothing major, honey that is grown. They call it rose-tinted honey. It is yellowish and amber in nature, but there is a soft tinge of reddish pink coloration to it. It has a sweet but definitely heavy and floral taste and smell to it. Go ahead and everybody roll me a perception check, please.
Oh, here we
First
go.
rolls.
First roll of the night. Everybody gets to roll.
Woo! Ooh.
How do I feel without you? Okay, to everyone. Yeah, 13,
Okay. So what everybody get?
Oleander got a 21.
All right. Bud, what you get?
14 as they're muttering to themselves.
Good old doctor.
14 as well.
Okay.
Sorry, 14 as well.
And Gallus, you got a
I got a 13.
13. So, Oleander, you were in the lead, so you catch it first. You are attuned to the very foundations of Felrynthus. This is what you were assigned to do. This is their bread and butter to some degree. On the wind, you can catch the faint, like from the ocean breeze that is blowing through, that you're catching just from the west. You can smell the salt, though it is very, very faint, but you catch the slightest hint of sweet honey on the air. You know you're going the right direction. You know for sure. You can see the village in the distance. Yeah, so.
My nose is never wrong, and I pick up some honey.
Huh?
I think we're on the right course.
You know, honey has antimicrobial properties, by the way.
This hasn't come up before, but if it is necessary, I can produce my own honey.
Where's it come out of?
Reaches into one of his hollows in his body, elbow deep, and casts Hand of Honey, which is Spare the Dying, and just pulls out this, and his hand is now just coated in honey, and it just starts dripping down his arm. So
Well, would you look at that?
Thanks, I'm good. That's
About 6 seconds
disgusting.
later,
Yeah, it's
it
gone.
whiffs off. It seems to dematerialize. All right. Oleander, you continuing to helm the lead for the group.
Oh, yes. I
Right.
believe we are on the right track.
As you
Perfect.
get as you proceed forward, you get closer to the river's edge, toward the rivers. Most of the heavily condensed rosewood is on the western side of the river. Um, this river effectively leads from Rosewood Lake and guides flows downward into an estuary that bleeds out into the ocean that has a name, definitely. That bleeds out into the ocean. Um, and as you get too close to there is a path. I will say that Oleander, you pick up on that almost immediately. There is an offshoot, though. You realize that it's not frequented and it's a walking path. You gather that they don't. Whoever travels to this village to Goldmere, to and from, does not use large caravans or carts of the sort.
Would I
Yes.
gather?
Well, no, because this is the offshoot from the hills, from the main
Ah,
road through the hills. So you
okay.
kind of picked up on that, though you kind of lose it in the hillscape. Um, but yeah, as you do get closer to the woods, you realize that this was probably at one point the walking path was a animal travel path to get from out in the woods at one point. And it has been overtaken by the humanoids that currently occupy the village. You can tell
Mm.
it's become a little bit wider and a little bit more walk through. Now, though the map doesn't show it, on the outer edges, even on the western side of this river, there are trees that are beginning to grow, small woods, and you can tell that the Goldenmere was actually probably founded a little bit prior or just when these woods were beginning to sprout up. But as you get closer to, you can see there is no gated or fenced area. You can see that it almost immediately leads, as it cuts through the woods, you could see it almost immediately leads toward the village proper. You begin to see homes and houses, fairly quaint. They appear to be built from uh, not rosewood trees, so imported trees most likely. As you would know, a lot of places at the beginning, whenever things were beginning to start up, or even nowadays, there is a low amount of deforestation that happens with them Felrynthus. But you see they are made of uh, those trees and stone, solid, homely. What catches your attention are the ways they're decorated. The wood is painted or dyed in these bright, vibrant colors, deep reds, soft pink colors, yellows, oranges. Um, Go to roll me a nature check. If you're proficient in nature, or if you're just genuinely curious, you can roll me a nature check.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Is this everybody?
Yeah, sure.
And you said, sorry,
Uh,
what, nature?
Nature, yes,
I have a question.
sure.
Uh, I heard what you said, but it almost immediately left my mind regarding what we're
Amazing.
looking for.
Uh huh.
The very important thing that we're looking for.
Yeah.
And I know that honey was mentioned, but I can't remember if that was the sign that we were looking for, if it was the
No.
actual thing we were looking for.
So honey is the main export of Goldmere,
Yeah.
which you would know. What you received reports from the last shipment of honey that you received from Goldmere. There were reports of an um, unusual and unidentified fungi, like fungus, like a mushroom
Fungus.
of some sort.
Right.
Yes. So that is what your assignment has been. As a note, as you are beginning to enter into the woods, I will share this with the rest. You all have been on assignment before. This is the first time that you've been beyond the Viren Wood. Most of the time, it's collect minor samples. Your talents have been sufficiently underutilized to some degree. Um, with the newest member essentially being shifted into the group being Oleander, realizing that the group probably needed a little bit more grounding and a little bit more versatility in what the expectations of what this group is to be. This is your trial run. This is your mission one, if you will. This is taking you beyond the Varenwood, beyond much further than the rest of you have theoretically been in the regards of doing something for the Verdant Walkers. You've probably visited Ashfall, you've been to major cities, you've been to local cities around or towns and things like that. But this is the first time you've been assigned a mission that takes you beyond those woods, that takes you beyond places you're familiar with. So yes, as a reminder, your mission is to locate and investigate and potentially even acquire a sample of this fungi for research and the like. But as you begin to walk through, you notice that with your nature checks, what did everybody get? Did everybody roll above a 10?
I got a 7.
Yes.
Okay.
What did
23.
you roll? Did you
I think it
roll
was a
a 1?
7.
I rolled a 7.
Yeah.
Total?
Yeah.
Everyone else recognizes that these dyes and these paints were probably made by some kind of muddling or concoction of roses, like rose petals, and some kind of oil or base like that to keep it and keep it to soak into the woods. It's not like in your face vibrant. You shouldn't think of it like that. It looks like, why I say oil, because it looks like it's soaked into the wood some. So this coloration looks like it's part of the homes themselves, these building themselves, and they aren't just like, the whole thing painted. They are variations of spirals and cresting waves and shifting patterns is what you notice. It is very beautiful and a bit out of your norm of what you've seen. You also see that there's a light chatter of an active village. You begin to see people milling about, moving to and from homes, doing daily tasks, some carrying water, some carrying clothes, some carrying various byproducts. You hear the soft flowing of water, which seems to be almost further northwest a bit, as well as the
I think if we want to find this fungus, we should talk to some folks around here and see if we can't figure out who originated this rumor.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yes.
I
was thinking a more complicated idea with figuring out some kind of food that the fungus likes, but that's assuming that it's a moving fungus. Fungus tends to move sometimes,
Does it?
I've heard stories. I've read books.
As you continue deeper into the village, some people take note. They offer you kind smiles and polite nods, but no one really stops and questions you. You do kind of get some sideways glances from people, just given your general entourage. One thing that you notice as you get deeper within this village, heading toward like what you imagine to be a village center or village square of sorts, wildflowers grow abundant. They're like what you imagine any kind of person's lawn, and you can see hundreds, thousands of pollinators, butterflies of all sorts of variations and colors and patterns, as well as various sized bees that move to and fro. And again, the smell of honey is thick within the air.
All right, well, see if we can't find some type of crier or burgomaster.
Burgomaster? You're trying to get burgled?
Mayor.
Are you just going to
Also,
pass over the burgling thing? Are you trying to get robbed?
I think it's another name for mayor.
Oh, okay. All right. Parlez-vous Elvish, I see.
Of course. We do not have mayors where I'm from.
You
Right.
have leaders.
Elders.
Are they singular or
There's a few, but
many?
we all gather to watch them when they die.
Or a council?
A council of elders, sort of, yes. Are there any elders? He's gonna look around for old people.
As you announce this, a few people startle, jump
No
with a
social
quick,
skills.
but there's like a polite laughter as one female, she's human, looks to be mid to late 30s, that the others can gather. Yes, Cordellan lives just up the way, the biggest building he occupies. Uh, have a blessed day. She gives you a polite nod.
What was that name? Did you say Dylan
Cordellan, yes. Do you need me to spell it?
or Dylan?
Cordellan, yes.
Ah,
Cordyllan.
Oh, so close.
Cordellan. But he answers to elder as well.
Perfect.
All right, and she gives you another nod
Oh,
as
sorry.
she breaks
Thank you.
off. Yeah. She actually begins to walk over to. There was two other females that she was walking with. They're all, and you realize that these are mostly human. There are a few half elves, but they all kind of come together and they begin to chatter and talk amongst each other and look back at the group. And as they're, you effectively think that they're gossiping to some degree.
look at that. We are popular.
Do I stick out?
Is that a question for me?
No, it's a question for you and for the others I'm with.
I would say yes.
Okay.
But we all do.
Speak for yourself. I'm perfectly normal.
Define normal.
I hope my appearances do not scare away potential friends.
Well, you
No.
never know. Only one way to find out.
And if they do, were they really worth having as a friend? Piss on them.
I cannot piss.
I'll piss for the both of us then, lad.
Then where does it all go?
I don't produce anything.
I
Except
am with
honey.
Bud. I am with Bud on this one.
I want to take some samples later when we get back to base.
Feel free. He's gonna, he's gonna just like pull a chunk of his like moss hair out and hand it to the doctor.
Not now. What am I going to do with this here? I don't have any of my tools. And all
Oh.
these vials that I brought with are for saved up for fungus.
Just puts it back in.
Yeah, keep that safe
You
right then
see,
and there.
there's
Don't worry,
a-
I'll pick over you later.
There's a small spider that crawls out and takes it and begins to use its web to effectively lace in or sew in a lace, if you will. Like it just kind of works the webbing to where it's like it's just stuck here with this spider webbing.
Perfect. Thank you.
As the group continues forward, moving your way.
Yeah, to
Yeah.
the where they pointed out
Cordillans.
Cordillans.
Okay.
Yeah.
As you approach the town center, there is a massive bush of large, some of them the size of like your palm, like roses. And in the center of that, there is a much larger, like central stalk that looks closer to like bud size, and the main bud of the rose, if you will. So it looks like this bush is growing around that, and this massive rose is like growing up. And now that you get a good look at the trees and such like that, they have these like the bark is. You realize it's not like a natural form like wood. You realize that the trees they look closer to like a rose stalk, if you will, like a single massive stalk. And the branches that are high up, the canopy is much higher, and it branches out. And the way that it spreads like trees, like as if there's like bushels, like rose bushels at the top that create the canopy. As if the top of the rose has dispersed itself and spread enough, and then a bush has grown to create the canopy effect. But as you approach this a little bit larger building, you imagine probably utilize Pygrotillin as like a home, but also as like a town meeting area. The door slowly creaks open, and you see an individual, older, looks to be close to their late 60s, very wise man appearance. There's the long white beard that goes down, and it's braided with these intricate beads, like a single braid that has beads woven into them. And atop his head, he wears a headscarf of sorts that kind of keeps it loops and lapped around. And now that you've gotten a good look, you realize that most of the town folks wear this like some kind of head protectorant, so like some kind of scarf or like a veil of some sort that goes strictly around the head. But he approaches with a gnarled cane, that you realize is shaped similarly to like a honey stirrer, but it's crooked and jagged. And he takes like the first couple steps down and, hello, welcome to Golden. I'm Elder Cordillin. How can I help you all?
My name is Oleander Aleheart, and my friends and I are from the Verdant Walkers. We came to investigate about a unusual fungus in the area.
You see his expression kind of furrows a bit, as if confused. We have no fungus here, just honey and plants. You look weary, tired. Come rest. Come rest your feet.
I don't get
And he
tired.
opens. Well, trees need water and rest too. Come. He like gestures his hand forward.
Okay.
Right. Never one to turn down hospitality.
Like pushes a door and anchors it for a moment, allowing you to pass through into this building.
When you say that he had a confused look on his face, do I know if that's if the confusion is because he doesn't know how the word got out, or if he just hasn't even heard of fungus?
Roll an insight check.
Okay.
He's never heard of the word fungus.
No, I mean
I know. What you're
yeah,
talking about.
17.
17. When he looked genuinely confused. Like he looked like he wasn't sure what you were talking about. But there was a moment that his eyes seem to have like, the way to kind of think about it is like whenever you like break the fourth wall, or you have that moment of like introspection before you jump back. It was very, very subtle, but you just caught like the edge of it as he proceeded to invite you in.
Okay. So like just a hint of recognition of maybe what we're doing here, and
It's more
Or-
like, yeah, it appeared closer to where he had a moment of introspection, and then,
Okay.
but the genuine look of confusion was there, but there was that moment of like hesitation and introspection that you caught.
cool.
Come, enter, come in.
What?
Does everybody enter?
Crowe
Thank
should
you
get in.
kindly.
And yes, you will need the doors were not that tall. The last person enters, he closes the door behind you, and you hear the soft click of his own walking cane. As the building it has like a small foyer that opens into a much larger space. You can see there is, at the very, very back, there is a like an open set of staircases that go up to a visible loft area, and that loft area you can tell is like a living quarters. You can tell there's a dresser, there's like a privacy vanity of sorts, or privacy wall. What are those called? Like the three
Partitions.
partition. Thank you. And there's like you could just make out the small, like the beginning, like the tops of like a bed, like bedpost. As the main interior is a much open space with various types of sitting benches, as well as a like raised dais area with a like podium. It's giving church. It's giving that kind of vibe to some degree, but it doesn't. There's no holy iconography around, so there's no. This isn't what this is utilized for. It's probably best utilized for this. To your immediate right, where he begins to push, like move past you and go to, there is like a small cooking area, like a kitchenette of sorts, and various types of like a table where like 10 or so people can sit. Please have a seat. How do you all enjoy tea?
Yes.
Do you prefer it bitter or sweet?
Starting with bitters, fine with me.
Whatever you got, really.
I've never had tea.
Oh, this is a delight. It's rose tea, our specialty. And he kind of, there's like a glint of like mischievousness. And he shifts over and points out to the kitchenette and begins to put, he kind of lights a little fire with a tinderbox. It catches and he puts the kettle on. And you see he begins to use a portal pestle and mortar to like grind up some herbs and various types of things, like little vials that he begins to pull off the shelves and mix together. So you mentioned fungus brought you within
Oh, yes.
Gonmir.
Well, fungus didn't bring us in. Our feet brought us in, but we're here looking for fungus.
Oh, you're a clever one. What is your name? You introduce yourself, right, Oleander? And you are the funny one. What is your name?
He looks behind him, like not realizing that he's talking to him. Oh, me, Dr. Thomas Crowe. Nice to meet you.
You're a doctor, a healer.
Yes.
Very good. Very, very good. And you, tall one, that looks similarly to a tree.
Oh, I am Gallus of the Broken Tree.
How unfortunate for the tree.
Oh,
But good for you.
The tree is quite splendid. We bury our dead
Marvelous.
inside of it.
Wow, we have a cemetery we bury our dead.
What is a cemetery?
A place to bury your dead. To lay them to rest.
Do you put them in trees?
No, we put them in the earth.
Why would you do that?
It feeds the ground.
You can think of it, Gallus, as planting the soul. And the soul as a plant sprouts out.
Also, a convenient place to keep corpses so they don't get you sick.
Yes.
This guy knows what I'm talking about.
What is a soul?
Oh, look, the tea is ready. And he turns.
Does this unit have a soul?
Yeah. And he turns for a moment and like busies himself, and then he looks over his shoulder, realizing that he completely missed the smaller. Oh, you, small fellow, what is your name? Who are you?
It's Bud.
That's what I call my grandson. That is your name. It is not a nickname.
No, it is
Oh.
Bud.
Okay. And begins to busy himself again. After about 5 or so minutes, he kind of grips a few ceramic glasses and things. Go ahead if you like. Yeah, some moment.
Yeah.
He's
I guess
busy in himself.
during that time, Oleander's just gonna lean over to uh, Thomas.
Huh?
Ah, all of this seems a bit weird.
Little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. He finishes steeping. He like does a few scoops of. There's no like bags or anything like that, so it's just loose leaves. And he scoops a few of this concoction that he's created. He scoops a few of those and he pours the warm water or the hot water over each of those. He makes 5 cups, one for himself and one for each of you. You see, he takes a jar of honey and does like a large dollop and mixes it furiously into his own with almost an excitement, and then takes it out and like flicks it off, and takes a small tray and leaves his cane. But he kind of, you see, he lists a bit to the side that he to the right where he was carrying his cane, but he corrects himself as he like almost a little bit abruptly sets the tray down on the and you imagine it's like a serving tray, so it's
Yeah.
not built for he like abruptly apologies, the only sweetener that we have is honey. We do have some imported cream if you would like that in your honey or your tea. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll have some tea with my honey.
It's there. And he puts the he kind of like pushes the glass toward you and the container of honey with the honey drip, the honey scooper.
Thank you. And he's gonna take the thing of tea just without putting anything in it and give it a smell.
It's floral, it's herbally. Roll me a nature check.
Okey doke.
If anybody else is taking a whiff of their honey,
I
a
don't
whiff
have
of
a
their
nose.
tea. Okay.
I
Can't
got
smell.
an 18.
18. You smell rose. Rose is very, very prominent. You smell kind of like an undertone of like a bit of spice, a little bit of kick, if you will. More like closer to akin to like a cayenne, if you will. Slight little kick to it. But underneath that, there's an earthy herbal smell. And you know that typically to prescribe to like mushrooms, like dried mushrooms. And you're smelling that as you take a whiff of it.
Before we ingest this, may I say a quick prayer?
Sure, gods are allowed.
I want to make sure that this is blessed, we are sharing this with you, our newfound friend. You just see Bud kind of, making sure there's nothing on their hands, and they're just putting their hands over it, over all the tea and the honey. Everybody who is here, I hope that who all partake of this nourishes our souls, our bodies, our barks, and everything in between. And as they do that, they're casting purify food and drink because this just seems weird to them. And it's now magical food and drink within a 5-foot radius. It's purified and rendered free of poison and disease. That's
Is
just
that a instant cast or is this a ritual? Are you trying to do this over the course of 10 minutes?
It's instantaneous.
Okay, so it's like a immediate casting. Okay.
Yeah.
Real quick, also, Thomas had an interjection that I wanted to do that also might distract from the fact this spell is being cast, which is
course.
gods are allowed, huh? I'd like to see you try to stop them from coming in here, but if you got something stronger than tea, I'd love to hear what you got.
Oh, it was an acceptance. And as he begins to stammer over, he realized that he might have not said the right thing.
Now Thomas is just a smartass.
Yeah, so there is a vocal side to this. Go ahead and roll me. I could roll me a stealth check with advantage.
So
You're trying
since
to
I
hide
have,
your like your incantation side of it.
so I this is a clarification question
Sure.
for this. Okay, I have disadvantage because of my chainmail, but because I'm not.
That's yeah, that's not in regards to this. No.
Okay,
That's like
cool.
hiding and like actual stealth. This is not in that.
Okay,
in
I
that
just
same
wanted to make sure.
vein. No.
So, is it like she's or they're saying their prayer and then they have to squeeze in and also protect us from the poison that is saying this?
And make sure everything is okay and copacetic and make sure it doesn't hurt us. Yeah.
Oh, 15 with advantage.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
That's great.
He seems sufficiently stammering of his words, and as you kind of finish your incantation, yes, and all the good for your soul, and tries to catch into saying it's almost like someone going, "Oh, and amen." He's trying to follow suit. You quickly realize that he did not catch as he takes his tea and takes a long gulp, like a heavy gulp of it.
There is quite an unusual notes in this tea. What is it made from?
Oh, we have rose petal, dried rose petals. We have the root of a bush that acts as a bit of we like a little kick around here, a little punch to the palate, if you will. A little bit of lavender, as well as just a smidge, the slightest little bit of this root that we have uncovered. It is a root vegetable, very bad for the palate. It has a sharp taste to it. He effectively describes ginger. Is it the cut to it? And now that you're getting a whiff of it, it does have that kind of those notes to it as he's describing it. And honey makes it all the better. Just a round circle of honey. Perfection.
He's thinking of all that and is like, I mean, the earthiness could have come from the ginger, but... And then he kind of looks at that guy and, like, thinks, was he leaving anything out?
Roll an insight. Well, you smelt the mushroom. You smelt that undertone.
But did it?
Oh, go ahead and roll an
like
insight
he
check,
knew if
like a
he was
welling.
leaving
Yeah.
something out?
I see.
I have no idea what's going on, so I'm just drinking the tea.
Yeah.
Just
I got a
to
12.
Yeah,
put
same.
up appearances.
I got a 12.
Right, a 12. He doesn't seem to be purposely misguiding you. He seems, as the words, he seems to be. It almost seems like he's mechanical on trying to remember his recipe and what he did for you, like the concoction he created.
Oleander's gonna like hold up his tea, and then give a glance over to Bud, be like, and like point at it, and then do thumbs up.
But just in the air slightly, takes a little sippy sip.
You all hear like trickling water as Gallus is drinking the tea. It's like leaking out of the numerous hollows in his body.
Sounds like a soft rainstorm, like a soft pattering of rain against wood, as it finds no real purchase. It just kind of soaks.
Gallus,
Yeah.
do the wee creatures inside ye appreciate the tea? Or is it not to their palate?
I don't know.
There's a centipede in the middle that's doing like this. As the warm rain comes out, it just like lifts its body and like
Very, very quietly inside Gallus, you can just hear. Feel the rain on your skin.
That's what it's dancing to.
Sing
Doctor,
along
do
with
you
it.
partake in the tea?
Oh yeah, no, he's pinky up, just sipping on it.
Um, Cordillin finishes like in 3 or so like heavy gulps,
Yeah.
and kind of sets it down and shifts the tea cup around. Have you ever had your leaves read?
No, you gotta buy me dinner first.
I don't have leaves.
Take
What do you
everything.
mean, reading leaves?
My grandmother, she was a oracle of sorts, a seer. I've adapted a little bit of a knowingness into the future. I can read your leaves. You must finish all your tea, and the remainder is what I can perceive and see of your future, your
Oh.
past, your present.
Well, you're just gonna take the honey
Mhm.
and put a bit in there
Mhm.
and watch and see if there's any reaction once the honey is added to the tea.
You mix it together, and it just dissolves
Okay.
into the liquid.
I'd drink down the rest of my tea and hand my cup over.
All right. What was your name again?
Gallus of the Broken Tree.
Gallus of the Broken. What do you wish to know? Past, future, or present?
Well, I already know my past. I know my present.
The future it is. And he sits there and he kind of shifts it around. Oh, I see greatness.
Oh.
You are destined for goodness.
Oh.
For more than what you think.
Okay.
You are to give to the earth.
That is the plan eventually.
Yes, that is what I see. And he sets your cup down. How do you feel about that?
Fine. When I die, someone else will be what I am.
Yes, life is a cycle. Be part of it. Does anyone else wish to have their leaves read?
Yeah, all right, sure. Let's see what you got.
Yes, show me. You must finish all your tea.
This guy's a
Yeah,
fucking weirdo.
All right.
That's coming. That's brilliant coming from you.
Gallus
Justin.
doesn't know they're a weirdo. Gallus is just like, oh, okay.
Which do you wish to know? Your past, present, or future?
Future. I got some stuff I need to know.
Perfect. He mixes it. You will become great. More than what you are. You will feel a change in you. You will adapt. You will marvelous. And he sets your teacup down.
That's the opposite of what I want.
The teas do not lie. They
What?
give.
Well, I need to have a word with the tea because it's telling me it's telling me that I want not what's gonna happen.
Anyone else? You, Bud, or you, Oleander?
Actually, I'm a loose leaf so I can bruise some on the road.
You wish for more? Of course. And he gets up and makes his way over and grabs a small little like tea baggie and kind of sifts the remainder of his creation into the tea baggie and ties it up.
While he's doing that, Oleander's just gonna take his tea and just kind of dump it where
Roll a
all of the
stealth check.
stuff was. Well, all of the stuff was.
Oh, where
that,
he's
Gallus.
Yeah.
Roll a stealth check with
Dumped his
advantage.
stuff. Okay.
As you were trying to disguise your the mess because he has not cleaned it up.
Yeah.
No bonuses. 18.
Very nice. You watch the others watch as Oleander kind of sifts over, and for a moment his glass is full, and then all of a sudden it's empty. As Cordillon walks over and tosses a little baggie in front of you, bud. The road for you to share. Oleander, your tea is empty. Would you like me to read your lead?
Why, yes.
Perfect. Which do you wish to know? Past, present, or future?
Past.
Your past. He gives it us two swords. Even at a young age, you knew you were great, destined for greatness, for something more. You were to be a guide, a leader, someone good at it all. You were to bear a green thumb.
Well, I've always wanted to be useful.
And he sets the teacup to the side. But I must insist, we must complete the circle. Would you like yours read?
You've been very hospitable. I cannot refuse that. But one swift gulp like you'd be chugging a good beer, then very gently places it on the table.
Cortella takes it, gives it a few spins. Which do you wish to know? Past, present, or future?
Can you surprise me?
No, you must know a direction for your leaves to follow.
Let's do the present, why not?
You are greatness, born to be more. I see it. Short of stature, vibrant hair. Than you ever know. You just need a push. Small, plentiful. And he sets his cup down. I enjoyed sharing tea with you all. There are guest quarters through the door. I grow tired from the day. Sleep well. And he takes the serving tray, lifts it, and brings it over.
I thank you for the hospitality.
When he's walking back, is he still super unsteady?
You realize that he does not list to the right.
Oh, that motherfucker!
Is leaning, his walking cane is leaning up against the table, or I'm sorry, up against the chair. And he is walking, he's not like, it's not perfect, but he was definitely, you could tell he was listing more, like there was some kind of injury to his leg that he was overcompensating for. But this, as he returns the tray to the kitchenette, does not seem to be listing to the right. And he gives you a nod. He does return and retrieve his cane and begin to make his way to the stairs, heading to that loft area.
Sorry.
Gallus, I thought you didn't have a nose. How the fuck can you sneeze?
Just pollen.
There's a bug tickling inside.
Oh, that's the point of note. It is the first day of spring today.
Sorry, it was one of the cicadas.
That would be violent. Right. You hear as he retreats up the stairs, and the open loft area, the area where the loft is open, but you see he kind of goes behind you lose sight of him, And then you see him. He does not look toward you. He goes immediately to the bed and climbs in and pulls the sheets up or the blanket up and just like propped up on a pillow, just eyes closed. And you hear the
What a friendly gentleman.
Hmm. Bud, I suppose. Trouble with this accent. You noticed what I noticed.
Aye, lad.
Fungus. The tea.
There's a fungus among us?
Doctor, keep your voice down. You're gonna wake the dead and the living. You're gonna wake his fucking grandma up. And then she'll do more tea readings.
Well, all right.
We need to investigate this.
Well, Bud takes a little baggie in his hand.
Investigate what?
The fungus that we are looking for, I believe, was in the tea we just drank.
Okay.
I have a bit of an idea as to where it is. We could check where they store their ginger. See if there is a fungus growing on it.
Okay.
Or the roses.
The roses seem like they're kind of you're like the roses, and then like
Roses!
Dr. Thomas is so bad at speaking quietly. I don't know if you've noticed that. He's one of those people that cannot control the volume of his voice, and he's like always up here. The roses seem like they've been here forever. So I think if that's something new, then it's probably the ginger. I could be wrong though.
It makes me wonder because you saw how he took the I don't know what they call it, the tea, the honey dipper, putting it directly into the tea and then shaking it off and just keep putting it back and forth. I've done a thing or two about growing potatoes and plants in my life, and you can easily spread some mildew and stuff like that if you're not careful. And I don't know if something's happening with this ginger in the tea, and every time they're putting it back, it's doing some interesting growth with this honey, but I don't know.
You got some samples of that tea. What's it look like?
Bud's gonna take some and put a couple of the dried leaves on their palm and just kind of like pick one or two up that look distinct. Do you know what I mean? Like the big chunks.
So yeah, there's definitely the more brittle of it are going to be the rose petals, like the dried rose petals and such. But you do find like larger chunks that have like a meteor is the best way to kind of like a dry meat-esque texture. And yeah, those definitely give you the hint of like mushrooms. Just from the conversation, but y'all been around mushrooms before, like you know what this would kind of look like.
Mm-hmm.
Would the purify food and drink have affected the dry samples of tea as well?
If it was in the 5 foot area,
yeah. 5 foot. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say that would where the kitchenette was enough away to where yours was centralized on pretty much the table.
Okay, cool.
The kitchenette was further enough away, or his concoction that he had used was far enough away to where it doesn't seem like it was caught in the spell.
Okay.
So if there was anything going on, you would know that you have a sampling.
Now, does anybody want to do anything really stupid or do this carefully?
Why
Have you
would
seen the things I inject into myself? I do stupid stuff all the time.
What do you have in mind?
Well, we could either A, have our lovely doctor over there, have a little, I don't know what time it is, fucking midnight snack. Just see if he dies or not. If he doesn't, great. If he does, that's a later problem. Or B, we can try to do some praying, and see what the fuck is going on with this.
Much as I love putting strange substances in my body, I gotta say, just checking out the plants still doesn't seem like that bad of an idea.
and
Maybe
I'm,
before poisoning
and
ourselves.
I am only going to pray to my broken tree, if prayer is ever involved.
And I did notice, I'm getting into Abraham. uh, Perhaps we can investigate the peculiar style of the inhabitants. The head wraps.
That's peculiar.
Yes. I mean, not by itself, but
Does he? Is Cordellan's head wrap anywhere, or they like sleep with it on?
You look up, and he's still kind of propped up. You hear this faint snoring. He still has that head wrap on. That's particularly peculiar.
He's sleeping with it on.
And it's not like loose.
Yes.
It is like a tight, like kept wrapped.
They all got a lich on the back of their heads.
Hmm.
all right. Well, we can take this to 10 right now and go take off this guy's head wrap, or we can investigate the plants.
I think we should investigate before we do anything that would be considered stupid.
Yeah.
We just
Oh,
We have
I
started.
agree.
We don't
levels
want,
of stupidity.
we don't want to put out a bad name on the Verdant Walkers and ourselves.
It's a probationary
Okay.
mission we're on here.
Yes.
What would you like
All
to
right.
do?
To potential garden farm. Do we see any
So it's
walking into
like
here?
if you, so you're leaving the main building.
I blend in with the trees. I could look. I could snoop around.
My friend, I don't think you blend in with anything.
Oh, I can. Trust me. And I'm gonna use Mask of the Wild.
Okay.
And I'm like
Where are you currently?
sitting.
Oh, still inside the
sitting
building.
Sitting in the
Okay.
living space.
Okay.
So I attempt to blend in with the living space.
Oh goodness.
I can. It
You're-
just says I can attempt to hide even when lightly obscured.
Oh, you're
Which
not.
I'm
letting
really
me
not.
obscure in this moment.
Yeah. Just
Not
gonna
this
sit there.
moment.
I am obscuring myself.
I can see
While
you just
remaining
fine.
Absolutely still.
Nope. You're right there.
What about now?
Still no. He's gonna take the cane and just start poking him in the face with it. Just like, you're right there, buddy. You're right. I got no
It's like a
The
problem.
centipede like scurries out from a crevice and just goes.
Yep. I can see all of it. Every detail.
Okay. Well,
Well,
maybe two of us could scope this place out, and then two of us could go outside and look around at gardens and stuff.
I think we should all investigate this place first before leaving.
Perfect. Is it dark in here?
Uh, there's some faint candlelight.
Uh,
Like it's
okay. Just because I think this only lasts for an hour. What's the light situation outside?
it is the sun is set, so it is considered like, well, the sun is like setting, so
Okay.
it's considered like late evening.
Okay.
Or getting into night.
If our investigation takes us outside, I have a very helpful way for us all to see in the dark extremely well.
Cool.
So y'all would like to quietly investigate the
Yeah.
interior of this place?
Yeah.
So, if that's the case, I would like a stealth check from everybody.
So, I do have disadvantage because of my armor, but my armor is my wood body.
Yeah.
So it's the noises of the wood creaking, I'm going to assume, is what would be the noise. Okay. And the insects that live inside of him, we'll say. The occasional, like, buzzing of cicadas.
You have a cicada in your body, so yeah.
And crickets.
When you sneeze, yeah. I would. Oh, you roll a straight roll, because if you say you have crickets, I'm gonna allow the crickets to feel more.
The only
like
reason I say
nighttime
crickets
shit.
is because I have a spell called Chirping Crickets, and that's the
That's
sleep
fine. Yeah,
spell.
play into
Okay.
it. Play into it.
So just a straight roll then?
Yep, just straight roll.
Okay.
But stealth check, not sleight of hand.
Yeah. So flat, 1 die, d20 plus 1.
Okay.
Yeah! 3!
Okay. Doctor, what did you roll?
Stealth.
Yeah. If you're investigating, I'm assuming. Okay.
17.
Okay.
So yeah, just the buzzing of a cicada.
Down the middle for this.
15, yeah.
Yeah, so that's 2 successes and 2 failures. And wait, someone rolled a natural 1?
No, I rolled a 3 total. 2 plus 1.
Got it. So for right now, we're good.
So bad.
What I would like is, if you're doing investigation check, tell me where you want to try to investigate. You can perceive something in your mind. Just let me know. So, Oleander, where are you looking?
I would like to kind of peek my head into the guy's actual living or like sleeping.
So you're going to try to
quarters.
climb up the stairs and look, because remember, he lives at the loft.
Yeah.
Like, it's a loft that's exposed.
Yeah.
So you have a direct view of him. So you want to get a more direct look in his loft area.
What else is up in the loft? Is it just the room up at the loft?
It appears to be like his living space.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, never mind. Sorry.
Okay. No worries.
If that's what that is, then I'll just like thought it was like a sectioned off room, but it's got like
No,
a
no.
room. Well,
You imagine it probably was recommissioned to be his living space. You imagine it probably wasn't utilized initially for that.
yeah.
But it was a convenience thing.
All right. Yeah, I'll check the kitchens.
Okay. So you're the kitchenette that y'all are close to. Dr. Thomas, where are you checking?
I will check out his living space.
Amazing.
Dr. Thomas is just going to, David Bowie style, just walk along the floor, get to the main wall of the building, walk up the wall onto the ceiling, and then just walk on the
Amazing.
ceiling into his living space.
Okay. Bud, what are you checking?
Bud's not really trying to be sneaky about this because they said that there was beds in the next room.
Okay.
So they're not trying to be sneaky right now because that'd be really weird. You know what I mean? They're just like, it's just the rooms. So they're just gonna walk.
yeah.
They're being respectfully quiet. You know what I mean? Like they're not trying to be
Sure.
like
With your
"Come,
6.
come." Yeah, like they're not trying.
So you're
to,
checking the guest quarters.
Yeah, they're just looking in there
Sure.
because they're just trying to not wake the old guy up because that's rude.
Okay. And Gallus, what are you checking?
With my very quiet 3,
3, yeah.
I'm investigating probably the area where we were all sat and drinking, the tea that's spilled
Okay,
on the floor,
so-
that kind of stuff.
So the kitchen, or the dining area.
Yeah,
Okay.
dining area.
So starting off, let's go ahead and do Oleander and Gallus, since y'all are kind of in close proximity of each other. Let's go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll me investigations if you're being like hands-on.
Yeah.
If you're just trying to perceive, that's going to be a perception.
I'd probably do perception because I have a +6 to that. Investigation is
Okay.
+0.
Oleander, I mean, yeah, he's gonna do an initial scan and then investigate if anything interesting, or
Okay.
unless, yeah.
Sure. It's up to you. If you want to do perception first.
Oh
and
yeah, man! Look at these
zero
rolls
in.
I'm getting tonight. 8.
Okay. Oleander.
23.
Oh,
Wow. Okay. Gallus, you're looking about, and yeah, there's definitely spilt. He didn't clean that up. That's kind of, I mean, that's chill, I guess.
I'm just staring at the puddle.
Yeah, the puddle looks a lot bigger, and you realize, oh, someone definitely added some to this.
I discovered something quietly.
Oleander, as you hear that, so it was a perception that you did starting off. Okay, so getting a look about there, a cursory look. You notice, or you recall that he had opened one of the cabinets to grab the spices, the jars that were holding things. That is kind of listed a bit to where it's still a jar, so it didn't close all the way. So it's kind of like slightly ajar. And underneath there's like where the central bar area, because there's like a bar that he was utilizing to make the teas and such. Behind him was like where he had the stove that he was utilizing in the cabinet there. Under there's like a curtain. So you imagine there's stuff underneath that. One thing that you do catch is growing from like splitting between the floorboards. There's like a small, like quarter-sized, $50 sized cap. Looks like a mushroom cap growing out of the floorboard.
Growing out of a floorboard.
Yeah, it looks honey in color. Like it looks like that nice, deep gold.
Oh.
But you just catch it as you're kind of moving about that curtain underneath that like island area kind of blows a bit, and you catch it just off your periphery, and then the curtain kind of falls and it settles back to where it's covering that.
Well, would you look at that? Like, holds it open.
So you open it.
Yeah.
Beneath that, the floorboards have been pulled up, and there is like disturbed earth. And you catch the smell, like a sickly sweet smell come from that area. And you see there's like a fairy circle of these mushroom caps that are kind of growing out. So we'll get to you in a second. As you're doing that, you see Dr. Thomas, which is not something unusual for you. I've seen this before, whether it's walking up trees or just walking around the conclave in this means. So, Dr. Thomas, you reach the top ceiling of the loft, and now you get a good look. There is a dresser with like a small vanity mirror. There are those petitions that kind of block off to allow for some privacy. There's a bed with a side table and a oil lantern that is not lit. There is a shelf, and on that shelf you see there are a couple books, as well as a few carvings, like trinket figurines, and there is a vase of roses that are slightly wilted. Would you like to
Yeah, if you can just kind of look around and like he's on the ceiling, so we can just look. He's looking up, but that's straight down
So
the
you're looking
base,
straight down.
basically,
Okay,
straight
roll
into
me
it and stuff.
Yeah, roll me a perception check then.
Okay. Yeah, just kind of just looking around to see if he can spot anything, and from up top, it'll be a 13.
13. From your vantage point, nothing more than I described catches your attention. It doesn't seem like anything particular in this moment. Just looking, you're not able to assess.
Okay. Is the dresser tall enough that if he's standing on the ceiling and reaches an arm straight up
No,
slash
it's
down,
like
can he
It's a more of a stout or a squat dresser.
Okay. Then he'll just walk down the wall so the top of the dresser is in front of him and just grab a book and just leaf through it a little.
Okay, yeah, you begin leafing through. There are various types of recipes of different type of teas, like locally that you can do. You see they like healing salves, like for aches, pains, ways to like natural muscle relaxers, things of that sort. Like a book of like, and it's all local, so it's in handwriting, and he's like, there's drawings, and they're not that great, of different types of visuals, spices, herbs, and the like, that can be found within Rosewood
Okay.
proper.
Okay. He's just over there sound asleep.
Yep,
Hey.
snoring away. All right, shifting away for you really quick. Bud, you are in the guest quarters. What are you looking? There are, as you enter in, and it's a singular room, there are 4 bunk beds, so there's 8 beds total, so a top and a bottom bunk. There are trunks. There's one at the end of the bed, and there's one that's kind of tucked underneath, so someone can pull it out to use, probably on the bottom bunk to use that one, and the person on the top bunk use the one at the edge of the bed. There is a singular, or there's 2 windows. And that's about what you get. It's very quaint. There's like enough of where there's like a mattress and then some blankets. Very simple.
Does it look like anybody's been in here? Like recently and or ever? Like, does the bed look like someone's been sleeping it, like wrinkled and like disheveled, or is there like dust that's like settled on everything?
Roll me. This is interesting. Roll me a perception check.
I don't think my old eyes see shit with a 5.
It looks clean. It looks well managed. It doesn't look like there's dust. You can't really tell if someone's been in the bed recently or not.
Are the bunk bed, because he said there's 2 windows. Are the bunk beds closer to the windows, or are they more farther away?
So, if you're looking at it, the windows are on the left-hand side. There are 2 bunk beds that are kind of awkwardly, one's kind of set against the other one, and then one set against the other window. So both windows kind of have bunk beds pushed up against it. And on the other wall, which is just a solid wall, there are 2 more bunk beds.
But just gonna, quietly go towards the one by the windows and just like kind of like peek outside just to kind of see what's like facing that way. Because like in their mind, if it seems kind of odd that they're like up against the windows.
Now that you're closer, you're taking a look at the window, and it's kind of, you thought it was initially just your visual viewpoint, but now that you're closer, the windows have been like scratched to where you can't see out. And you can tell there's like visible, like someone taking something like an object and like fogging the windows, if you will.
Does it like intentional object, or someone like fingernails freaking out trying to get out of a room?
Fingernails wouldn't have that much. What this looks like, it was intentional. Like it was meant to, like, you're not sure. It was, but someone. It looks like it wasn't. It wasn't like, yeah. Someone's fingernails must be like super strong to like cut into glass. Roll me your survival check or history.
What do my old eyes see here? Survival. I'll do survival. Come on.
Yep.
Can I do better than the 5? Oh, I can. Flirty 20.
30-20. The way the grooves and the markings are, it looks like someone took like a rock or an object of that like caliber, so it's like there's like a rough surface to it, and just kind of like it looks like they tried to clean the window with a rock. is the best way to kind of describe it. But you can't see out. It created that effect of almost like a fog or like a distortion, so you can't see out of it.
They're just gonna take like a piece of one of the citronella leaves from their like shoe,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just gonna. They just want to know the window's real, and they're just gonna kind of like poke the
Window's real.
window, just to, like, you know what I mean. This isn't like a weird.
Nope.
And
But as you're looking, you can kind of see faint because you have dark vision, right?
Yep.
You see a form walk past, not like immediately up against the window, but like a few feet away. You could just see like the distortion of like someone walking past. Okay, we'll pause on you. Oleander, we're coming back to you. You're looking at this disturbed earth, these like pulled up floorboards, this grouping of mushrooms that are like honey tinged in color.
Oleander's gonna kind of take a breath and then just walk back to the dining room, have a seat, and wait for everyone else to finish.
Gallus is right there.
I discovered something.
Oh, please share.
Gestures points directly down to where he's standing. The puddle of tea that leaked out of me got bigger, like someone added more tea to it.
That is quite astute of you. That was me.
Oh. Okay. Then I found nothing.
All right, so shifting away from y'all two, back up to Dr. Thomas. So you're flipping through this book. A snoring Cordillin is on the bed. What else would you like to do?
Trying to think of what else to investigate up here. So yeah, he's on the bed. There's the dresser. There's the books. There's the vase. There's nothing in the vase. What else
There's
is in
roses
here?
that are kind of wilty in the vase.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing like down in the vase.
No, yeah.
And then, so actually, can I? Okay. So he's like kind of propped up, like laying down on the bed, right?
Yeah, like he's like an old man sitting up. There's like
Yeah.
3 or 4 pillows behind him, and he's like,
Is the bed against a wall?
yeah.
Okay, so he's gonna go back up the wall, across the ceiling, down the wall. So, like, if this is the wall behind him, Thomas's feet are here, and he's standing out like this, just
Yeah.
leaning over him. And I would like to do a medical examination, just what I can, looking at this guy. See if there's anything like discoloration or blemishes or something in the fingernail, nail beds, like,
Yeah,
you
go
know.
and roll me a medicine check.
Okay. Anything he can notice as a physician as this man is laying here sleeping. That's gonna be-
I'll give you advantage.
Oh, okay. So it was a 16 or 9. So 16.
16. So as you kind of give a cursory look, you start from the area that's easier to see. So his hands, and his hands are kind of on top of the sheets. Nothing seems wrong about his hands. He does have like a nightie on, so it kind of covers up his forearms or his arms. But what you do catch is as you travel up, the neck is kind of exposed, is kind of like leaning up. What you catch is like right behind the ear, there's this odd like. At first, you assume it's a weird looking skin tag, but it's big and it takes up like this much of his neck. And then you assume it's a gill, like he's a fish person, the way that it's kind of protruding out. You kind of lean a little bit closer, and you just catch that it's like skin attaching. So it looks like there's like you look like you're looking at the underside of a fungi, of like this weird shape that looks like it's growing out of his skin, or
So like one of like those mushroom, those like shelf mushrooms that grow
Yeah.
on a tree.
yeah, but
Ew.
it's like lifted just enough. It was hard to see because of how his hair was, and his hair now is like just kind of all over. But yeah, you just catch that behind the ear with your 16.
Gross.
Okay.
And it looks like
Um,
it's tucked underneath where the, like, either he missed it or he shifted wherever his headscarf
Eat it.
was placed.
Eat it.
No.
Okay. Okay. It looks like a it looks like
I
a
want you to roll
separate.
me. I
Okay.
want you to roll me a stealth check,
Okay.
as you have just discovered a fucking fungi grows on this dude's neck. This is going to be how much do you hold your hold yourself stable in this moment. You are a doctor,
From
so I'll
like
give you
a-
advantage on that.
Okay. I was gonna
He
say, I'm
had
like, this
like
guy.
A
This
eureka
guy
moment.
just.
Oh.
But you did, yeah. Do you scream eureka as you let go?
It's a 14.
14. Okay, yeah. You kind of you have a moment where you get a little bit excited at the prospect of discovering something that no one else probably did. And he kind of shifts, and as he does, he like moves, and he actually turns a little bit to his side, so you actually get a little bit of a better view. I would say he turns this way, so you get a little bit of a better view of it.
Okay. Gonna just lean in a little bit. Actually, because he's on the wall, so he's just gonna lean forward oddly.
Yeah, you're like-
He's working against gravity. So what he's gonna do is take the immovable rod out,
Yes.
Nice.
and yeah, that's the magic item I
Good
chose.
choice.
I love it so much. And he's going to hold it in front of himself and then click it to give himself a handhold to brace
you-
against. No, not like above, like just direct in front of him.
Oh, okay.
So he can kind of like brace against. So he's like feet on the wall,
Nice,
like just kind of
okay.
leaning
Oh,
against
cool.
it over him. So he can kind of brace his chest against it, so his hands can be free, so he doesn't have to like worry about stumbling onto the guy.
Cool.
And just gonna lean forward and just like very gently poke it a little and see if like run his finger over it, so not enough to like jostle it, but enough to see if like there's a sense of touch on it.
Okay, I want you to roll me a sleight of hand.
Okay,
I'm imagining. Ugh.
This is really
15.
Jeez.
Ooh.
Wow.
Yes.
Dr. Thomas is very dexterous.
You run your finger, so you're running it on the underside.
Or on, yeah, like
Or-
on the fungus part itself, not touching
So,
his
like-
skin.
Oh, okay. So you can
Gloves,
tell it's a growth as you
Mhm.
run your finger across it. There is a fleshy texture, but mushrooms have
Yeah.
those types of mushrooms have their own fleshy texture to it. There is a fleshiness to it, but it
Mhm.
definitely is like it's not growing from his skin, so his skin isn't sprouting mushrooms to a certain degree, but it is like what fungus do. They are parasitic where it's growing on him and it seems to be spreading.
Okay. So, but like if I run a finger along it, it doesn't seem like he can. It is like a separate growth. He can't like feel it or anything.
I would say with your sleight of hand, you were soft enough in your touch to where there was like a small reaction. So there seems to be some connection to it.
Okay. So then his next idea
Like a
of
movement
cutting,
of the neck, like
yeah. So his
No.
next idea of cutting a piece off of it would be a bad idea.
you would ascertain with your
Yeah.
with your medical knowledge, you would ascertain that's probably
He's
not
like-
going to be the best idea.
Yep.
Ew.
All right. Then he's gonna, yeah, kind of push himself hold back with the rod, click that, put that away, and then just walk back at the wall on the ceiling,
Okay.
out of the loft, down the wall, back into the
Okay,
rest
so
of the
you
room.
rejoin the other two. Bud, are you doing anything else in this moment?
Just when they see the figure go by, they kind of put their face a little close. Like, you know how you can see something when they get closer to a window to peer to keep seeing where like the thing is going.
Yeah, I mean, you see it walking. It looks like it's walking alongside the and then the building that you're in, and it disappears. Like you lose sight of it. It's dark now. It's getting much darker. Even with your dark vision, it's like there's an obscurance to there, so you can see it continue on, and then just disappears into darkness.
This might be an odd question to ask, but
Hmm.
from what the outside of the place looked like,
Mhm.
does the inside space match, or does it look like it's too small?
I mean, it was a pretty big building. You didn't get like a full vantage point of it. It looked like it was a large building. Like it looked like it was meant to accommodate a large number of people. It looked almost like a community center, just like a smaller community center. So no, I would say just generally no. It doesn't look like there's a weird perception or this room is like like a hidden room, if you will. I imagine that's where you're going. Like, it doesn't look like this room is weirdly tucked
Yeah, like
into it.
smaller,
Yeah.
and if I
No,
open
no,
up
no,
like
no,
a
no, no, no.
panel, it's like, oh, there's the drugs.
No. Doesn't look like that.
Bud's just
Guys, I
gonna
found the drugs.
found the drugs. Bud's just gonna kind of slowly back away from the window. It's just like, okay, that's kind of weird, and they're gonna go and they're short, so they're gonna try and lift up the mattresses a bit and see if anybody has left anything underneath them.
So you're only tall enough to lift up the bottom mattresses.
You know what? Yeah. So I was just like, I don't know if I can finagle, but yeah, they're trying to like see if there's anything under there.
Generally, just for this, yeah, there's you kind of upturn it and it doesn't. It's like tucked in sheets. It's like a little mattress. Nothing like super extravagant, but it's nice enough accommodations for guests. And I would should shift to this, as you had indicated. Does it look like people have been here, or does it look like dust? It doesn't look like there's dust. It looks like it's like maintained to some degree, but it doesn't look like anybody's been here recently.
And they're just gonna kind of gently open the chest, see if anybody's forgotten anything.
Open up the chests. The chests are empty. There are some scuff marks and things like that, indicating that people did put things in here. So at one point, people had put their items, but yeah, you don't find anything of note.
I mean, if the room looks pretty... Man, Buzz just like scratching their head at the window thing. They're gonna go over to the other side where the bunk beds are, and they're just kind of look where, like across where those windows are, and just kind of look at the wall there, and just kind of like,
It's a barren wall.
oh, that's so fucking weird.
Nothing
And then
strange.
Bud's gonna go back to the others and tell them, "Oi, we got ourselves a friend that walked by the window, but other than that, the windows looks like it's been shoe-shined with a fucking rock."
All right, as the four of you reconvene and Bud establishes this information, let's go ahead and take our break.
Yay! All right.
All right, welcome back from break. We are reconvening with the four here as they have done their bits of investigation, finding various things of interest and of note. Yeah.
So
Okay.
you s-
Well,
Hey, everybody.
what?
He's got mushrooms growing out of his neck.
What color were they?
What color were they?
They had like a goldeny honey tinged cap to them.
Gold and honey colored. I'm pretty sure that's what's under the head thing, too. He just missed one.
Hmm. A ring of mushrooms.
Is that a method of egress? I thought a window counted as a method of egress. If not, I need to relearn my real estate jargon.
An encroachment. One
Ah.
might say.
so we're ingesting mushrooms from this man's flesh.
That's exactly what I was about to say, Gallus. I think you're right. Oh, fuck.
It doesn't seem like it's from the flesh. Come. I'll show you what I found.
I discovered something too, but it was pointless.
Gallus, we're still proud of you. Never stop exploring.
Okay.
And he'll wave him over to the kitchen. and then point out the mushrooms, the ring of mushrooms. He says it in the floorboards is in the corner, right?
So it's like the floorboards. Well, no. So the floorboards are like pulled up to reveal the
Yeah.
like ground effectively, and the ground has been disturbed, and they've created like this ring where the mushrooms look like they're trying to grow out. So what you were seeing, what caught your eye, was like a couple mushrooms or one singular that you caught, but you see another few kind of trying to grow through the floorboards out of the ground.
Right.
And you all see as you're looking, you see about a ring of those amber colored or golden colored capped honey mushrooms, and the earth is disturbed, so it looks like it's been moved and cultivated to some degree, and a thick wave of like sickly sweet hits all of your nostrils immediately. um, Dr. Thomas, it smells like a corpse.
Hmm.
Smells like a dead body.
That smells like a dead body.
I'm gonna dig down through the dirt.
Okay.
Do I find the
Um,
body?
You begin digging down into the dirt, and you find not. You do find. You find like moving. Go ahead and roll me a sleight of hand check.
Oh,
Disadvantage.
disadvantage.
Yeah.
15.
15. Oh wow. Okay, so as you begin to move the disturbed earth, kind of like spilling over, you discover there is bits of bone and such like that, and it looks like the bones have been broken and opened. But what you catch and you pull your hand back before you actually swipe across it are these uh like myconid growths, so like myconid roots, if you will,
Yeah.
that have kind of like all grown around the bones and have started to jettison up and out of the plants at those angles to create that circle.
Okay. Is there like a skull or anything?
No, it just like a handful of like larger long bones. So like you can try to pull them, but they have like myconid
Yeah.
growth attaching them.
Okay.
But they are broken. You could tell they've been like broken apart into various pieces.
Just gonna gesture to the bones. Bones.
Fucking homemade fertilizer. Holy
Right.
shit.
Well, I wonder if this is homicidal or burial.
Oleander, the tea must have done something very good for your throat.
Hmm.
You sound different.
White, yes. Of course. So, I think we need to come together on how we want to go about this. Because if
You each hear a distinct as you watch getting out of the bed, Cordellan's form rises, like gets up and is moving and taking steps, and moves down the stairs.
Get it back, Gallus.
And-
Gallus, cover it back.
You see he's walking without without his cane and without any kind of listing to the right, and almost a rigid state. Walks, does not even pay mind to you as he walks out the door and closes it behind him.
Thinking he was gonna be he was gonna be so weirdly hostile, Gallus's jaw kind of like distends a little bit, like he's gonna do something, and then seeing him walk out the door, the jaw just kind of.
as I was saying, perhaps we should treat this carefully. We don't know how hostile they might be.
I was just going to try to make him fall asleep.
Hmm.
Should we follow him?
I think we should.
Because that was weird, and he was walking really weird. I walk weird, but I.
Doctor, would you mind taking some samples from the ring, Doctor?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The
All right.
ring of-
Mhm. Yeah, he's gonna. He probably doesn't have much of. Well, he has alchemist tools, so he probably has like. Do those come with like pliers and tongs and stuff? All right, so he's takes out the vials and stuff that sample little things that he brought with, and starts taking little samples and putting them in stoppered bottles.
So it's looking like we're gonna follow, right? And like go outside and kind of okay. Before we do that, then, yes, Gallus is gonna use Eyes of Night, which is fun. He shares his 300 feet of dark vision with up to 4 other creatures. So,
Jeez.
oh yeah. So, he opens up his mouth a little bit, and the light kind of gets a little more intense, and a bunch of fireflies begin to like fly out of his mouth. And I imagine he's done this on the others before, so it's not like, what the fuck?
It's not completely new.
A bunch of fireflies kind of fly out of his mouth, and they start to like land on everyone's eye sockets and start to like crawl around. And then they phase through the skin.
Ugh.
And you all now have 300 feet of dark vision.
I always hate it when you do that, but I've done worse to myself.
And it'll last for an hour. I can use a spell slot to keep it going, though, if I need to.
Thomas will, since we're gonna be in the darkness, remove his sunglasses. Just
Twilight Domain Cleric.
So your vision begin to extend as you can see much further. Y'all begin to pursue, leaving the building behind. All right.
But just while Gallus is doing that, just is popping open their researching satchel that they got from the Verdant Walkers and just popping open a vial for a little bit of the soil. And also for themselves, in case this ends up being good fertilizer, they can study it for their potatoes.
Right.
Gang, regarding the Verdant Walkers and where we stand on this, is this something that we want to preserve or contain, or both?
If it is an infection, if it is a sort of infection that is spreading, then containing or hindering its spread might be best, but if it is something worth exploring further, it should take a sample back with us. But
what, Lex? What is the Verdant Walker's policy on dangerous phenomenon like this?
You have, you essentially are. The ideal policy is to reduce the amount of. You don't want to kill count, if you will.
Yeah.
So reduce the threat, but if it's against your own life and if life threatening, then you have the means of defending yourself adequately and as necessary.
Right, but if it's a place like this where it's not us that are in danger, but it's like
other people
that are in because current perception, it appears to be that this town has been taken over by a brain fungus.
I'm imagining cordyceps.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if that's the case, then if based on our training and information that we have leading up to this, what would the company policy be on how to handle?
You would want to save the if it's like egregiously, you would want to get a sample. So you still want to do that for study and potential, because if this is something that is like a brain, if it's affecting the brain or like controlling of that nature, they want to have a way of containing or controlling or not controlling. I'm sorry, containing or removing that's an unwanted growth. especially in like civilized area. The idea is that the Verdant Walkers are a middle ground between civilization and the growth of the continent, and something like this can be reduced and contained elsewhere. So, but you would want to save the people. I mean, you have an aptitude of saving
Okay.
people.
So before we like leave, then I'm gonna take some of those like. Is there any way to get the myconid bits off of the bones without like unearthing, like without having to pull up bones? Like, could I like be able to like get the spores or the myconid bits off and put them in my collector's box, which is like the chest of preserving? Okay.
I would say
You can mess with the remains and spawn
you
a
get
ghost.
about two. Yeah, you get about two like bits of growth in a quick succession. If you want to take time to try to like actually
Yeah.
cultivate, if you will, it's going to take some more time. But you can like a quick.
Would there be a check involved with that or no?
Like a quick no, you'll get like I'll give you like a solid 2 that you can quickly
We
cultivate.
can. I think we can get by with just 2.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take.
I mean,
2
because you
of
have the soil samples, you have the myconid growth, and then you also have the actual like fungus that Dr. Thomas.
Okay,
Dr. Thomas,
I'll-
you get about 2 of those, or you get like conservatively. How many are you looking to get?
2.
I mean, you have a little.
Probably just 2.
Okay, Dr. Thomas, how many would you want to get of the fungus?
So you said it's like a circle of mushrooms, right?
Yeah,
How
there's
big
probably
are
like
they?
a dozen or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How big are they?
They vary in size. So there's some that are about this big,
Mm-hmm.
all the way to like what Oleander first saw was like maybe like a quarter or $half size.
Does it? Okay, so if he like digs around and because they're growing out of the dirt, right? If
Well,
he
you
digs
get,
around,
now that you look with him
Mhm.
disturbing the earth, the myconid growths were growing. They're like the roots of the fungi that grew up off the bones, and then that's where those fungi stem.
oh right, okay, so they come
Growing.
from the bones.
Yes.
Okay,
It's just rooted in bone.
I also have a clarifying question too, for my brain.
Sure. Uh-huh.
Do you mean myconid growths or mycelium growths?
Mycelium. Thank you.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. I was like, it's a dead
That's the
myconid body.
creature.
It's there are
That's the
myconid
creature, yeah.
bones here.
Mycelium.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad I
Okay.
asked that question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, 'cause I was very
Mycelium,
confused, too. I was
yeah.
like, I didn't
Yeah,
know
yeah.
myconid
no,
had
no,
bones.
No. Mycelium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Mycelium growths.
My brain goes, yeah, myconids, the
It's
fungi people.
It's close enough that I thought I'd ask.
Yeah. No. Thank you for asking. That's a good clarify. It is mycelium growths.
Okay. In that case, then can he like go to where one of them comes off the because like what is it like what exactly like how many bone like what kind of bones are we looking at here?
You're not sure. You would need to.
Okay.
You would have to unearth them and start piecing them together. They're broken,
Oh,
and
okay.
splintered, and
Oh,
shattered.
okay. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's hard to tell. All right, but they're like growing out of shattered pieces of bone.
Yeah. It's like
So
it's
could
like
he-
the mic. It's almost like they're creating like a muscle. It's really weird to
Mhm.
describe. Like a muscle between the bone. The way that they look.
Gross.
Just
Okay.
looking at the general display.
Then could he just like extract like one root set coming out of a like relatively small chunk of bone, and then like take the whole bone and root set and drop it in the chest of preserving?
I'll say between the two of you, you can definitely do that.
Okay.
Because you and Gallus can do that. I won't require a roll because y'all have, this is what y'all do.
Okay, cool.
And you're going to take a little bit of time to actually do this because you have to actually excavate and procedurally remove and make sure that you get it. So you can definitely do that.
Nice.
Okay.
So definitely mark that down.
Cool. And then, can we just say that I do the Eyes of Night thing when we leave?
Sure.
Just
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not like sucking up the
No,
hour
yeah, yeah.
time limit on it. Okay, cool.
No worries. Yeah. Speaking of an hour time limit, I would like everybody roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Wee!
For what?
Really
y'all
quick.
For what
Yep.
purpose?
Like,
I mean,
I have
never mind.
I have advantage against poison.
Never mind. This won't affect.
It's not going to be. Actually, technically, it would work. If for Gallus, it would not benefit what your ability is.
Yeah,
I'm that
just
is, if
looking.
I'm not mistaken,
It's just for detection.
For that, but I'm thinking of. Oh no. Okay, so Gallus and Oleander, you will have advantage on that.
Okay.
Quick question for Dr. Thomas.
Yes.
He doesn't need to breathe,
Uh-huh.
and given that he's a doctor, he's probably like conscious of not breathing around. Again, this is what we do. So if
Uh-huh.
he's just been not breathing this whole time, does that change that at all?
So I have a question. For the
Yeah.
for the time that you arrived to the time of now, has he not breathed, like done any of that?
Oh, it's been the whole time we've been in the house?
Yes, so this is
Okay.
their whatever. That's why I said in the speaking of an hour.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Yeah,
Oh,
like,
okay.
it's an hour to
Yeah.
extract. Okay.
Um,
He. Okay, then he's probably been breathing since we came down here. It's probably
So at
been
the very
like,
yeah. So
Does she need
yeah.
to breathe to speak?
It's been it's only been to speak, but if it's
right.
okay.
But it would be sufficient enough of a time frame of where. And again,
Gotcha.
you dealing with mushrooms, you all
Yep.
can ascertain above the table what this probably is dealing with.
and because
Okay.
because I get asked this at almost every session, is this against being charmed?
That's why I said you get advantage.
Oh, cool.
He's like, yep.
So
yeah,
there's
the
a
answer's
two-way
yes.
street to that. That's why I double checked with the charm because I was wondering if it was a
weird
spell, but it's
going
not.
on. Okay, cool.
But Oleander, you also get advantage. It's technically
I got a 16.
okay.
Nice.
Natural 20.
Yes.
Very nice. But
I got
14?
14, and
Got a
Oleander,
13.
you got a 13. Okay.
13, yeah.
All successes. As y'all don't know what above
Yeah.
the table something happened, below like on the table you're not sure. So as y'all prepare to leave, do y'all have anything else you want to do within this building?
No.
Got the root system in the bone and the. Would we? How long do we think it would take to put together enough of the bones to just get a sense of what
It'd
like?
probably take you a couple hours, like to
Okay.
to piece together and then like remove the mycelium and to piece together the bones.
None
It
of
would
us
take
are
you quite a bit.
paleontologists either.
Yeah, not yet.
I'm
You're a doctor,
Okay,
but
so
like,
with,
yeah.
with the here's my I suppose here's my actual question. With being a doctor, could Dr. Thomas rule out humanoid? Is I suppose my real question.
It is humanoid.
Oh, it is humanoid.
It is
okay.
humanoid. Yes.
Okay.
Roll me a medicine check.
Okay. That's what. Yeah. It was more the question. Was just like, does it at least look humanoid? Are we looking at a person or an animal?
You were
Am I
looking at a
supposed-
person, or
Okay.
yeah, some kind of humanoid.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. The bones, from what you can gather, are roughly have been. There's not any kind of like residual flesh or skin or anything of that. They look to be close to about maybe a decade old.
Okay. Okay. So these have been here for
Like
a
the
while.
bones have been buried for quite a bit.
I have a weird
Okay.
follow-up question.
Sure.
Sorry.
No worries.
Is there any way to tell
Uh-huh.
if the bone structure would match a individual of similar height and gait as any like a similar height and gait as to our host?
From what you can tell Dr. Thomas, I would say, can ascertain that it is an adult.
Okay.
It is an adult humanoid. The bones
And-
are well worn and aged.
And for the breaks, with that, would he be able to tell, like,
Postmortem?
yeah, post-mortem, pre-mortem, like, were those, and like, was it like blunt force cuts, like what?
Uh-huh. It was
Like what
definitely
kind?
blunt force, and it was
Okay.
definitely done after death. After probably close to about 10 years. like the bones were 10 years old, and then it's happened more recently that the breakings and things like that happen.
Okay, so they've just like been down here forever, intact, and then very recently they were smashed up,
Very recently, yes.
and also okay.
You can also gather, I will say this, the earth was disturbed, right? The way the bones were in there, they don't look like this was their resting place.
Oh,
It
okay.
looks like they were put here.
Okay, so it
They
kind
were
of looks like
taken
somebody.
from somewhere else, and then placed here.
and then placed here, and whether or not, and then does it look like they were broken here?
That you can't tell. I'll say.
Okay,
I mean, you won't be able to tell that.
I mean, like, because if they were broken here, there'd probably be like tiny bone fragments around, like in the dirt. That
Oh, then yeah. Like it looks like there was. It looks like something was happened, and oh goodness. Roll another medicine check really quick.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm thinking like if they were broken somewhere else and brought here, there's like little tiny fragments and chips and stuff that.
Actually, roll a survival check. Roll a survival check as you're
trained in that too.
I have expertise in that.
And then really quick, I think it's so many of these skills. If it has to do with a monster, I have advantage, but I don't think this is that.
No.
24 on the survival.
Jeez.
Man.
You find small bits of bone fragments here, but you also find there's like bits of like some kind of old material of sorts, almost like burlap, if you will, mixed in. So you imagine the bones were probably taken via a burlap sack. I'll give you this,
broken
Dr.
in the
Thomas.
sack and then dumped out?
And then dumped out here. Dr. Thomas has a fucking Sherlock Holmes moment as he builds.
And it's like, right, and this is why we bring him
This
places.
is why we have this, is for the fun of it. It's not to be, you essentially kind of have a moment where you visualize exactly how this probably would have played out. And you see some of that burlap is like embedded in some of the bones as well, as it was smashed. Whatever was used, it was the blood object that smashed them, but definitely embedded some of those fabric pieces.
So with what Dr. Thomas is finding, we basically have a good picture of this scene, essentially, right?
What's happened here? What would happen?
Like we've got a pretty concrete idea. Okay.
Oh, one final question, actually.
Sure.
The mushrooms. There's no sign of breakage. Rooms.
No.
So it looks like then bones were taken, put in a sack, broken in the sack, dumped out here. Mushrooms grew here. Okay, so seems like someone was intentionally trying to feed and grow these mushrooms off human bones.
Seems like it.
Okay. So Dr. Thomas relays all of that.
Perfect.
Just like pointing stuff out and picking up bones and pointing at fragments and like pulling up stuff and then pointing at little like threads of burlap.
So I think the next step is we follow
Yes. Quite astute, Dr. Thomas.
Portalin.
Why, thank you. It's almost like this is why I work here. That and curing my damn vampirism.
I was hoping there was a corpse in the ground because I could speak to it and get answers that way, but good job, Dr. Thomas.
Well, we could dig around and look for a skull, but it might be broken.
I think time is of the essence. We should probably follow our host.
Yes, I agree.
Are there any photos around in here just by chance?
No, they're not photos.
Paintings.
Photos?
Cameras don't
Photos!
exist.
Like paintings, like because
No,
I'm
they're
thinking,
not.
did he have a wife if he's an elder?
No, not that you can tell. There are no artistic depictions of spouses or himself
Okay.
or families.
wait. And no talk of a grandson called Bud or anything?
Eh.
Okay, imagine this. You're in a fucking village. Not everybody's going to be an artist. You're not always going to... This is old-timey shit.
Yeah.
You're back.
This is after the sundering of the world.
Yeah, essentially.
Everything's starting to rebuild.
And they were not child-sized bones, right? We're just...
No, they were not child-sized. They were adult
Okay,
bones.
so it's not the dead grandson. Okay,
It's
cool.
Okay,
I
so
bones.
as we're getting prepared, as we begin to leave, then eyes of night, the fireflies fly in
Maybe
everybody's
fireflies.
eyes.
All right. So as y'all open the doors
Sorry.
and peer out, no worries. There are various, there are like outside lamps that kind of light the main thoroughfare of this city or this town. I'm sorry. It's from what you heard before to now, it's eerily quiet, and I would say it's only probably about like if you were to estimate a time, probably about 7 or 8 at night, which isn't that late.
No.
Like the sun had just gone down. People should be settling. There should be distinctions of moving. And you notice all the houses in this area are dark, are completely dark. The only lights that you see are coming from the street lamps.
Okay.
which are oil in nature.
So yeah, everybody now has 300 feet of dark vision.
Right, we need to see if we can't find them. Where do we think they went?
You can attempt to roll a survival check.
Yeah, since I have expertise, can I try to find like footprints that might match the
Sure.
person's like gait and whatnot? Okay.
Can I
He didn't-
aid?
Yes, you can.
Advantage.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
advantage, yeah.
Okay. Come on, roll good tonight. Okay, so it was a natural 1 and a 12, so 12 plus 8, dirty 20.
Hey.
Very nice.
Thank God for
Between the
these
two
rolls.
of you,
go the wrong
you
direction.
take a moment and you quickly discover the bare footprints that are recent. He was not wearing boots.
Okay.
He was walking barefoot. And you quickly follow those. They go, so if you're looking out, they go immediately to the right, which would round a road, like a path that leads to the right side of the building, which would lead in line of where Bud, you saw the light, the windows. That's the side. This is a path that it looks like it would take you past, would be those windows. Do you follow? Do you pursue?
I'll point out the footprints and go, oh, follow the footprints barefoot. Look at the
All right.
toes. And then there's no lights on. Everyone seems to be asleep. So do we do this quietly or just a normal pace?
I think we can just walk along. Seems like they walked right by you earlier, so
Cool. All right. Then I'll follow the footprints that I just spotted and at a normal pace.
Okay. The road is not just dirt. There's like stone, like flat stone, like almost like river stones that have been set
Oh, okay.
into the earth. So y'all would have saw like some of the footprints. It's not like perfect. There are like obviously dirt and mud that comes up from the ground. But y'all proceed forward, following this without moving quietly. Is that everybody's take?
Yeah.
Okay. Continuing on, you proceed forward. You lead down a path, and the path continues on, and it splits. There's a fork in the road. I would say I'm going to take y'all's dirty 20. You catch a bare footprint that is pretty recent. Just for myself, I said bear, and my brain went, no, that's not right. A footprint that leads off to the immediate right. You follow that as it has the same comparable size. Continuing on, you begin to hear a soft, low, like hum that begins to carry over the winds. And in the trees, through some of the trees, you can see there's a glow, like a yellowish orange glow, like indicating light.
Okay.
That's about 50 or so feet from you. With God, you'll have impeccable dark vision. With
300
your
feet.
dark vision, you can see the start of a wall, like a stone wall. It's two positions here, and then there is what you imagine is a gate with one of the gates open, one partially closed, and you can see there is a building. God, the dark vision's crazy.
I'm sorry.
There is also a building. No worries. There's a building in the far back, and off of that building, you see this massive conglomeration of mycelium and this huge bulbous, like mushroom cap that is on top of it, and you can hear that low moo, like carrying, and listening you can hear it's not just one voice, there's dozens of voices that are keeping this baritone hymn.
So quietly, I don't mean to ask a possibly stupid question. This is not normal for the outside world, yes?
no, it's not.
Nope.
Since you'll have wild fucking vision,
Yeah.
I swapped the
Twilight
map.
Domain.
I swapped the map. So y'all are gonna see some things.
Oh, cool.
Almost immediately. That you're gonna get visual reference on. Actually, this do it about right here. There you go.
I think this is why Twilight
Okay.
Domain clerics DMs don't like them.
I
You can see everything.
So who would be helming the lead on this? I'm gonna imagine. I'm gonna say Gallus is in front, or Gallus is in front. Dr. Thomas is close with him. Bud and Oleander, I'm gonna put y'all right behind him for the marching.
Perfect.
Order. Initially, just the vision is fucking insane.
Yeah, I know.
Y'all aren't this close. Y'all still have about 100 or so feet before you get to the actual, or 50 or so feet before you get to the gate. But with you can see there's like lamplight here that's kind of casting a glow. Gallus and Dr. Thomas, you can see these entities are at the ground. They have these massive plumes or massive growths of that, Dr. Thomas, what you recognize to be the mushrooms that were growing portalins. What catches your attention almost immediately is that there are like bits of flesh that are missing, like it's decayed, and it looks like the mycelium has attempted to like reattach it or reform it.
Ew.
They are on the ground, like digging at the earth, and you see they're like shifting the earth a bit. And as they are, you can see like every time that they move a bit, there's like some of these thick clouds of spores that like drift off their body and settle onto the ground as they look like they're tilling the earth with their hands and shifting and moving the spores into the earth.
Ew.
So hear that.
That's so fucked.
This is actually really fucking metal.
So also with your range and how the position is, because the building at the far end that you're seeing, if you look on the map and you go, I'm going to sync our views so we're all looking at the same place.
Yeah.
Here is where you see that amalgamation of mycelium that's growing out of this crypt, has grown up the wall onto the roof, and at the top of that is this massive dome, this massive cap, this mushroom cap. There are multiple mushrooms like growing out of its different areas, and you see there is a large central golden eye that is open and peering and watching, almost like the eye of Sauron is. If you to imagine visually, it's like
Shifting eye of Sauron.
Yeah, like it's shifting its vision around, watching what's
That's
going
super Resident Evil-y.
Dr. Tom, anybody who's proficient in nature,
Damn.
Go ahead and roll me a nature check, please. As you take your first look at this.
Okay, hold on. I need to really quick.
I think it's Fey, Fiend, and Undead.
Maybe?
Yeah, it's Fae Fiend and Undead.
I'm thinking
Is it
of.
specifically those? Okay. I'm trying to remember.
You know what? We're gonna play with it because you're a fucking doctor. Let's go off with it.
I think we for Monty Sam, it was because Monty was a monster hunter, so we ruled that he could track monsters and not those things.
I'm gonna let you have it, Sam. Go to roll advantage with it.
Okay.
Go to roll
Yeah,
advantage.
it's one of those things where the class says one thing, but I'm always
But
just
logistically,
why?
it doesn't make sense with what
Yeah,
you're
it's
doing.
like why would it be Fae or fiends or undead? It's like it feels like it
It
should,
should be
whatever.
monsters. It should be like I don't.
It's literally based on The Witcher, so yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. So it was medicine, or sorry,
No,
nature.
nature.
Right. Yes. Okay. I'm like one with an A next to it.
2 full pages of notes.
21.
21. Anybody roll above a 15 besides the doctor? Okay.
That's very good.
Dr. Thomas, you have done your research. You have read
The
books.
doctor is in.
You have some research in academia to this. What you're looking at is some mutated version of what you've referenced or what you've read as being called a sweet cap. They're extremely rare sentient fungi that are attracted to locations of intense sweetness, typically located or found in crypts or graveyards, but not too far from being attracted to places that have a lot of procurement of honey or sweet-smelling, like natural fragrances. The roots in it, sinks its roots or its mycelium into the earth, and it spreads its spores. It has a fairly rapid growth rate. Most people consider whenever you ingest the spores, you have a heightened sense of euphoria. A lot of researchers consider the sweet cap to be fairly harmless beyond the spore, what they refer to as spore servants being used to produce more sweet things. What you're looking at is definitely a mutated version. Typically, they are no bigger than what you have seen, or they're no bigger than the size of the mushroom that you've seen. You've never seen one directly, but you know the creature that you're looking at is one of these sentient creatures.
Okay, and
Super cool.
Okay,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
2 questions. How big is this one again?
It is considered a large.
Okay. And
It's
how many
massive.
people are here, like, digging in the dirt?
From what you can tell, because you have a fucking view of it all, there's about 5 of these half undead, half fungi creatures that are milling about. And this is a graveyard. This is a cemetery. And you see those fungi are growing out of the earth.
So
They're
this
not
is-
disturbing those. They're kind of growing. They're moving and shifting around it.
Looking at these poor fucks, quick cursory glance in my professional medical opinion, did they look savable?
They look like corpses. They look like
Okay.
fungi-infested corpses.
Okay.
What I will give you is right here, you're catching it just on your periphery. There is somebody holding their arms aloft just behind this gate. And you can hear that heavy, whoa, like baritone sound.
Can we tell if it's Cordelin?
This is not Cordelin, no. This looks female.
Okay.
I'm pointing at you, Lex. Cordelin, Cordyceps.
Everything has a reason.
Otherwise, he'd just be Dylan.
Dylan.
What kind of fantasy name is that?
Gross.
Oh, I have a guy.
All
at
the
work
other names are
called
going to be
Dylan,
just basic.
and he's a big dillweed.
90s top baby names. So,
My son will never be a Dylan.
All right. So what
There'll
would
be
y'all
a
like
core
to do?
Dylan. Sorry.
What would y'all like to do in this moment?
I'll turn to the others. So, thoughts.
Undead are fair game to me, but non-lethal for any those that seem living.
I'm going to reach into my mind and try to speak with the broken tree itself, and try to get its opinion on undead. I know I'm technically sort
Okay.
of undead,
Um,
but what their vision of this would be, like destroy or save.
Okay. This is funny. For you, it would probably be an impasse. Because effectively what this fungi is doing is effectively what the broken tree does for you.
Yeah.
The exception to that being is you have one of you. There is a level of balance and control. This seems not controlled.
Like it could
This
spread.
seems
So contain it or destroy it, essentially.
yes.
Okay.
Dr. Thomas, I'll give you this. Sweet caps, people who have been known to be privy to sweet caps, don't have these abnormalities growing on them. They don't have it's effectively like the sweet cap goes, hey, don't bother us, just keep doing what you're doing, give us sweet things, and then they just kind of live there, like almost in a symbiotic way to some degree. So they placate, and it's not just humanoids, it's it's a multitude of kind of creatures. So yeah.
Okay.
I get the sense that this should be contained, destroyed, culled. It feels like this could spread and infect more people.
Yes.
And if it's too much disruption, the spores are gonna keep spreading. They thrive on the moisture, they thrive on the decay. Fuck, when I had some of my potatoes, they were taken over by a couple of mushrooms back then. Ugh, it was so bad. They were a bitch to get rid of.
Though, like I said, if there are any, uh, you know, still living people, let's knock them out.
Yeah,
Figure this.
I agree. The chanting one seems still living. The
And if-
ones walking around, because I can see Lex moving the tokens around, so assuming they're moving around,
Yes, they are.
I think
shifting,
those
so
ones-
it's like a gardener.
those ones look like there is no saving them.
If there is any intelligent aspect of this fungus, we should try to communicate. But if they are aggressive, you know, take them down.
I'd be careful about breathing in close to them if those
I-
spores inhale.
I am of plant. I could try speaking. Of a similar nature, almost.
I think that is a good idea.
Okay, I'm gonna.
So
Shall
y'all are
we-
still. I will. Gotta mention you're still about 50 feet back.
Yeah,
From being where the gate is. So you
Yeah.
still have like some time.
I'll
That's
start.
why you haven't been spotted.
I'll
So,
go ahead.
do we want to be aggressive on this, or are we just going to walk up and see if they're friendly for
Friendly first.
negotiation?
Friendly first, and then if things go sour, then we can be aggressive.
All right.
So, since I kind of look like I'm basically a walking plant, I'll make my way to the gates. The open gate.
The continual growth of that ooh, baritone melody continues as you approach.
And then let the others do whatever they're gonna do. While I.
So
Yeah,
I will
trailing
walk
right
you through the
behind
gate.
him.
Yeah, you get about right here. So you can see there's like a. I'm not going to put all
Oh
the
my
fucking people.
God!
I'm just going to just show y'all where some of them.
So
are
those are the
located.
people. Those are the people that look like they're still somewhat
living people,
living, and they're the ones chanting.
and they all have their head wraps are taken off, and they have bits of growth,
No.
various types of growth,
No.
and it is all again. It is all. I'm not going to put everybody on there. But
Yeah,
they're
absolutely.
about like
The entire
each grouping.
the entire
You can
town.
multiply that probably like 10. So there's about 40 to the north and about 40 to the south. Not that many. I'm sorry. About
Okay.
12 to the north, 12 to the
So
south.
it looks like. Does it look like it's the entire
whole
town?
village.
Okay. I'll get to the gate and.
And as you approach, because y'all weren't approaching quietly, you
No.
weren't at the very least. Were
No.
the others trying to be stealthy in any way?
No.
Okay. As you approach the gate, the oh stops, almost simultaneous, as the large eye shifts to you of the fungi.
Hello, fellow walkers of the land. I bring news from the broken tree. Charisma of 8.
Stepping out of the northern crowd, kind of like shifting a bit, almost like as if getting used to their body again. You see Cordillon approach, walking stiff without a list, and you can see the eyes are like this milky golden color. I just scratched my head. And
Oh, no.
Mark.
I really-
Like this milky, like golden color around the edges. And he offers a smile. You are destined for greatness. Join us.
What would
Eat.
happen if we joined you?
You would hear the song. And as he says this, the others all around, ooh. And the eye is like trained and focused on you and Cordillon in this moment.
You hear that? We're all great.
You said that before already. When you read our tea leaves.
Yes, I was correct, guided by the song. And he kind of lifts, and there's a there's a low vibration as the voices just kind of lift all in unison. The mic in it, or they're not mic in it. The fungi infested corpses. Now they have a
Funguis.
visual. The fun guys, they have all stopped and they're kind of standing, and they take a more like defensive position. So the hands are like in front of their bodies, and they are all like lowered it's the guards. They effectively take like a guard stance, and they all
Okay.
kind of shift around to like this center point, making a bit of an obstruction toward.
Okay.
Come, all of you must come.
And what if
Can you-
we look back to the others? Refuse?
Well, we need to talk to whoever's in charge anyway, but
You are. It is I. And he points a haggard finger toward the large growth.
Like the eye.
The voice speaks through me. You can hear it if you join us.
Did you?
well,
No, you go ahead. I've been talking a lot.
um, what if we don't want to join you? What if we just want to talk and set? Because we're somewhat representing neighborly aspect. What say you to talking about limits of your reach?
We wish to grow, to hear the song throughout this land.
Right then.
It looks back at everyone else and pulls up his axe.
I'm going to, as Oleander's discussing, talking, and distracting,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to dig a large glowing wasp out of my body
Sure.
and do something that's probably going to make this real spicy. Oh, yeah, perfect. And I'm going to cast Stinging Wasp, aka Guiding Bolt, on the big thingy with the eye.
Okay. So
Just
we'll initiate this. We'll go ahead and start this off. So
Yeah.
go ahead and roll an attack roll for me.
Do I have advantage because it's... no, I doubt I do. Okay.
Not in this moment.
Yay! Ugh, 10!
That still hits.
Yes!
It's a stationary target.
So the wasp kind of increases, the light on it kind of glows, and slams into the thingy.
Mhm.
And that's going to be 10 radiant damage.
Where is that? Okay.
And now it's bathed in in like this purplish gold light. Just
Okay. The form begins to glow. We have 30 minutes left. This is combat. I'm gonna
go.
leave it up to the group. Okay.
Let's do it.
Everybody go to roll initiatives. Roll me initiatives.
I'm just imagining getting stung in the eye with a wasp now, and I hate it.
Yes, 20.
So if you look on Owlbear, there's a little butterfly
Yeah.
at the top right hand. If you click that, that's called Pretty Sordid. You can that's an initiative tracker for
Okay.
us. So you can just type in your number there, and y'all could have a initiative tracker to keep track. Just let me know when everybody gets entered, and I will.
That's cool.
I'll add that to
Situated
I'll add
for
that to the other one too.
I imagine Dr. Thomas and Bud were not too far off. Like, how far back are y'all?
Oh, probably
Perfect.
pretty close to the front. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna move y'all onto the map in this moment.
Okay.
All right. So let me make some rolls on my end here. Oh, fucking shit. Oh my god. The fucking workings of a DM to dice. I rolled a natural 20 on one and a natural 1 on the
Yeah.
other.
Yay.
So this is really funny because I'm pretty sure even with a natural 20, it has a pretty shit. Yeah, that's fine.
Oleander's still just sitting down. He's got one of those.
Oh God.
Brings
He's
his
got
chair
one
up.
of those like wooden chairs that kind of folds up when you stand, but
Amazing.
then when you when you like take the sitting position, the legs through gravity just naturally like turn into a chair.
All right. Let me make a copy of
I like that the monk only got a 6 for initiative.
Yeah.
These guys got a 0.
Oh, perfect.
So technically a 1. All right, so starting us off is Gallus.
Nice.
I'm gonna say I'm sorry. Your guiding bolt was
Absolutely.
gonna be your action.
Absolutely.
You have movement and bonus action
Okay.
remaining.
Nice. We like to see that. Okay. Gonna ready the great scythe that he has.
Mhm.
35-foot movement speed, because Wood Elf. Probably gonna get right to there.
Okay.
And then oh, goodness gracious. I can't cast Spiritual Weapon because I did Guiding Bolt. So I think the best thing for me to do is to end my turn.
All right. Next up is Bud.
Okay. You said it looks like the Eye of Sauron on this thing. That was the best way you described it, right?
Yes.
Next attack on it has advantage because of Guiding Bolt.
Ooh. You know what? I really want to do this, and I don't know if this is a paladin thing to do, but I just really want to do this. Because I have a javelin, and the range is 30/120, and I'm 120 feet. I
The
really
120 will
want
put you at disadvantage.
Probably
but then
because of
you'll have a
Guiding
straight
Bolt,
roll.
it would be a straight roll, yeah.
Oh yeah, nice.
So if I get even like 5 feet closer, is that just regular
So
then?
your range is
Oh, that's
non-disadvantage is that smaller. So you have to roll. You have to go up to that. You can go up to that. Anything from that number to the second number, like the second number is the furthest you can throw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything between that first range and the second range is a disadvantage. It's overthrowing, if
Yeah.
you will.
Oh, okay.
So that's why the having advantage is just a straight roll
Yes.
until you're in that other ring.
Yeah.
Because of Gallus's, guiding bolt.
I think my short little shit's gonna try it.
Yeah, dude.
So it'll be a flat roll, and you just kind of hopping on their one leg, doing that good old high school javelin throw. A 15.
Dean's gonna hit.
Yeah, my 10 hit, so.
It is a stationary target.
So that will be 4 piercing damage total.
4 piercing. Right. It did not like that. It did not like the blast of radiant energy. But yeah, the javelin kind of protrudes out of it, and it like shifts. It moves. It has some movement and wiggle to it.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Do, 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 do.
Anything else for you, bud? You saying put?
30 feet of movement speed. Ah, shit! I could have divine smited that, couldn't I?
Technically, yeah.
That's alright. That's alright.
You can do it now. I mean, technically, you can make it after you hit it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So go ahead and do
Yeah.
Divine Smite then.
Okay. Spend the spell
This is your
slot.
first time as a paladin.
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I expend the spell slot,
Uh-huh.
and then it would be like expend 1 spell slot to deal 2d8 extra radiant damage. Plus 1d. Okay, so 2d8 I have to roll.
Yep.
And plus 1d8 against undead or fiends. So
Nope.
No.
Not an undead
No,
orphan.
go back down, you.
It's a plant. It's a sentient plant.
Oh,
Oh, what?
You get.
Chew.
All right.
Oh, okay.
amazing.
Rough stuff. Rough stuff.
It's okay. I'm learning.
It's a-
Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's you're a budding paladin, and it's a baby spite.
Motherfucker, I
baby
appreciate that.
You
Just
know?
a baby. Bud's gonna just shake their fist. And
Okay.
just stand their ground there.
All right. Stand put. All right. After Bud is Dr. Thomas.
Here we go.
Okay. Dr. Thomas is going to from back here. I'm probably gonna go. So I realize I did not actually figure out which of his mutagen formulas looks like I have to decide those at the beginning of the day.
Okay.
Like which one which one he has created,
Okay.
or since the last short rest.
You had a short rest. No,
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
So it's just a question of like, which one would he have? Which one would he have made coming into this? Because there's one that just is generally good that increases his dex score by 3, but gives him
Do it.
disadvantage in wisdom saving
Hey, I don't
throws.
care. In this moment, do it. We're learning.
Well, Yeah. But he knows that these things target wisdom, so he wouldn't probably use that one. So I think probably like there's one that I think would be good, but I don't think he would have known to prepare it. So I think currently the one he has he's going to not use.
Okay.
And so but then he is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then
So
action
these are
dash.
stone walls, so you could have just like walked over that, by the way.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Because you have your
One-
spider con.
Right. Okay, so
Oh,
1,
yeah.
2, 3.
Yeah.
1. Wait, hold on. I got bumped somehow. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Why do I keep moving
Because you're
back when I go over?
bumping
there?
Oh,
into the,
okay. I'm
the
sorry.
dynamic
Never mind. You
lighting
can't do
thing.
that because there's technically a wall there.
Oh,
So
like actually.
we could, yeah, because there's actually like how the dynamic lighting works. It creates a wall there.
Oh, okay. So I'll just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay.
You will need to move through this though. You have to move through.
Yeah, you're
the
not gonna be able to
actual
move through the
door,
dynamic lighting.
Here.
There
There we
you
go.
go.
And then
Oh, fun.
action dash 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then bonus action. He's going to twist the handle
Yes.
of his cane, and then presses pull it out a little bit, press the thumb, and then draw. And as he draws, he's gonna draw it across his thumb and activate his Crimson Rite. So as he does, he coats the blade in blood, and as the blood hits open air in this particular way, it bursts into flames. So he takes a D4 of necrotic damage from that.
Do you Naruto run into the graveyard?
Probably not. No. Okay.
Oh.
So 2 points of 2 points of necrotic damage, and his rapier blade is on fire.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. After that's it for you. After Dr. Thomas is the what I've named affectionately the Sweet Creeper.
Great.
You watch as the eye kind of shifts
it.
its attention, and Dr. Thomas, you quickly approach the front and you brandish a flaming weapon, and you see the creatures around you that now catch sight of that open flame kind of recoil a bit, and that eye focuses, kind of shifting a bit, almost vibrating, before you watch these 2 spores grow in size and poof, poof, like 2 mortars
Oh,
shoot
yeah.
off of its body as it does spore shot at you. So for the first,
No, Dr. Thomas.
that is a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Nice.
Thomas, you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage,
Ow.
Oh.
and there we go.
Dr. Thomas, no.
You take 2 points of poison damage.
Ow.
I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw, please.
I'm bloodied.
Blood Hunter.
Here we
How's
go.
the How's that? How's the 7?
Let's see if the trend continues.
Oh, fuck, Dr. Thomas. You are considered poisoned until the
Okay.
end of your next turn.
All right.
And then for the second one, that was a 13.
That does miss.
Okay.
Oh.
The first one hits and it rockets and you shift. I want to make sure poison doesn't do anything on attacks against you. It does not. Okay. It first one boom, and explodes into you, rocks you back a bit. The second one explodes next to you in a cloud. Next up are the villagers.
Uh-oh.
The humming has stopped and they begin to so I'm counting each of these villagers as a group of 3 just for ease of purpose.
Okay.
So for the
So
first one
many.
runs directly
Oh, cool.
toward Gallus. Gallus, I need you to make a strength saving throw
Okay.
as the 3 try to grab you.
Perfect.
Your DC is at 13.
I got a 10. 5 plus 5.
The 3 of them kind of grab, so you were considered grappled.
Okay.
These also join in. You can make a dexterity saving throw. Oh wait, with grapple, did you roll a? Yeah, you can either. It's another grapple essentially. They're
Yeah.
trying to. Effectively, what's going to happen? The DC is going to increase a little bit more. The more that you have on top of you.
That's
at the moment.
cool. Okay. So I'm rolling again.
DC is still 13. Yeah, DC is still 13.
Okay.
Try to avoid it.
11.
Okay. You
No!
have 6 people that are kind of grabbing onto you and holding. You're just considered grappled still, so your movement speed is 0, but the DC to break free from these is now 16.
Okay.
So there's 6 people for 1 for each. Next up are these people kind of begin to create like a human chain.
Okay. Just a reminder, don't kill these people. Kill the other ones.
And they're turned and looking at those that are still outside, and there's a ooh, kind of like a low
Oleander's in
hymn.
his chair.
All right, Oleander, you are up.
Oh. Great.
I'm covered in men.
And women.
I wish.
All right. I am trying to figure this out. Okay.
I feel
Okay. Nice. You've arranged them so wonderfully. I am going to yeah, because if I don't hold on, if I only got 35 anyway, so they'd end up catching up with me no matter what. So I'm going to
Oh, cool. There's a radius. There's an AoE tool.
I'm going to action disengage. Er, yeah, I'm going to use my bonus action to disengage with a key point. And as using Step of the Wind, I'm going to get a running jump and jump over them.
Oh, the dynamic lighting's in the way again.
The door got extended. I mean, the wall got extended to the door, so I can.
Oh my god. Okay. I avoid dynamic lighting at all costs now. I'm just gonna hide your character really quick.
Oh, no.
Shift you over,
Oleander's
and
dead.
then you're past the wall.
All
I
right.
don't know what happened there.
So 5, 10, and I'm running and then trying and jumping over them.
Okay. Roll me an athletics or acrobatics check.
Okay. 21.
Okay. Oleander, as you're running, you take your chair and you set it in front of you and you use it as like a buoy as you jump over and you grab the chair and like bring it around with you. They're all kind of like grabbing hands like to try to get you, but you with your step of the wind, you're able to flip over past them.
I hope the chair is your monk weapon so much.
10, 15,
No,
20,
you're about to
25,
find out what that is.
30. So that puts you at 30
Yeah.
there.
And I used that bonus action to disengage.
And then you use your step of the wind, right?
Yeah, instead of dash.
Right.
Right. So then
So
I will
funky.
use my action. I'm going to use my action to shove this guy off of Gallus, the one next
So
to me.
just a reminder, these are groups of 3 people.
There's 6 of them on.
Okay.
So
Okay.
we can effectively work them as a single creature, but they're gonna I give them an automatic +3 to their.
Right.
So if you want to shove, you can definitely do that. Because the shove is they need to make a dexterity or strength or dexterity saving throw. I'm okay to count at that, but they automatically get a +3.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna push him down, or push him away.
Okay.
Because Gallus goes before they get to go again, so that would effectively peel them off for his turn.
Some of them,
correct?
yeah. They'll pull 3 of them off.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. That is a 6 + 3 is a 9 + 2 is a 11. That is what's your.
Okay. That's what I'm
you have
trying to
make
beat. All right. Oi, 21.
21. You quickly just check them all as they kind of like stumble back away, not expecting you. It's 3 of them. You are 3 of them kind of are. Are you pushing
just
to the
kinda-
ground or pushing them away?
Pushing them. You know what? Yeah, as long as pushing them to the ground will get them like off of.
Yeah,
Gallus.
freeze them. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially knock them
Sort
to the
of-
ground.
That's the idea.
Sure.
And that will also make it so that they can't run as far when I have
Yes.
to. Yeah. So, knock them to the ground. Get them, Gallus!
And there's still 3 more on me, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But that should make whatever check you have to make a little easier.
Hopefully.
And then I'm going to use the last 5 feet of my movement to go around this way.
So like shift
On
around that
Gallus.
pole. Okay. And you see now you're kind of close to the edge of one of the opened where one of these creatures came out of, and you see there's a grouping of those mushrooms that have a heavy grouping of those mushrooms that have sprouted out. All right. After Oleander are the vessels.
Yay.
Starting off is the one up close, the one that seems to be
Bring it.
engaged and held.
Bring it.
They're going to, as they just run forward, and the arms begin to swing wildly. I don't think that's going to hit. That is at a 14 to hit.
Oh, misses.
Misses. It kind of hits your wooden armor, carapace, if you will.
Yeah, my carapace.
The next one is this guy here. He's
Oh,
just
no.
going to run over to you,
Thomas.
Doctor. Fucking hell! That's an 8 to hit.
Nope.
Yes.
You quickly dodge out of the way. This guy joins him. That is a 12 to hit. I think
Nope.
that's in this as well.
Yes.
These guys are not meant for this. They are meant to cultivate. This guy's going to go 5.
We're attacking farmers.
20. Yeah, he's going to get up on you as well, Dr.
Oh, dear.
Thomas.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
I don't like that look.
Sorry, Sam. I'm really sorry. That's a natural 20.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Why did you have to shit talk the farmers? I'm a farmer, bitch.
All right.
We're all about to be farmers.
We're gonna join them.
5 bludgeoning damage.
Hey, okay, still up.
That's not bad. How bad you looking?
I rolled, it's 2d6 and I rolled a 1 and a 3.
I'm at 5.
Okay.
Get your ass
Uh,
up here.
Well, now I'll
10,
take 3 attacks
20,
of opportunity if I leave.
30. This guy's he's not gonna
I
get
got
right
something to
he's
help
gonna get
you,
about
buddy.
right here. He's charging forward. Goo, goo, goo. All right, that is it for them. Top of the round, round 2. Gallus, you're up.
Yeah, so it's my action to try to break out. So
Yes.
I don't want to waste my action doing that.
You have
So
a creature, an undead mycelium
do.
filled creature in front of you.
okay. Fuck. three villagers are crawling all over me.
Yep.
Got a mushroom person in front of me. Dr. Thomas is surrounded, essentially, almost. Okay. I can't designate if that spell hurts friends or friends or enemies, so that would be dumb. Okay. Okay. Okay.
What you got?
I'm concerned about Mr. Tumnus. So
Mr. Tumnus.
perfect. His jaw is gonna distend like down to almost his knees,
Oh.
and he's gonna vomit forth a cloud of cicadas towards all of the to each of the ones near Dr. Thomas.
Okay.
This spell has a 30-foot range.
All right.
Can I affect all of them? Oh, 3 of them. I'm going to affect the 3 that are within 5 feet
Cool.
as I cast Baneful Cicadas, aka Bane,
Oh God. What is that? What kind of save is that?
Charisma.
What's your DC?
14.
Okay, they can still make it. I was about to say they have really shit charisma. So, all right. So for
Oh, sorry.
the one.
Yeah, 3 creatures. Okay. Actually, you know what?
Um,
I'm gonna upcast that at 2nd level to get the 4th one.
okay, perfect. So starting at the very top here, 5 minus 4 is a 1.
So it's baned.
So he's bane.
Cicadas are crawling all over it and buzzing.
That is a 9 minus 4, which is a 5.
I hope this helps.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
attach for some reason.
It is concentration though, and I'm in a pickle.
Oh my God, a 2 minus 4
Good.
is a negative 2. And for the last one, I didn't roll above a 10 on all those. That is another 5. So they are all for Bane.
Perfect.
You see they are swarmed by cicadas, and they seem distracted as these noises are filling their brains, or their their
Okay.
heads.
Uh,
Their sensory.
Yeah,
yeah,
their
just
sensory.
So Thomas, you see all these cicadas crawling over these things and buzzing. I'm gonna look over at you. I hope that helps.
Certainly seems like it. Thank you.
And then
Get drowned out by the cicadas.
I can't really use any of my bonus actions right now,
Mhm.
and I don't want to use Harness Divine Power because I haven't really drained my spell slots too much yet. Fuck. I'm gonna end my turn.
Okay. Next up at that is Bud.
Okay. I'm gonna try to see how I. Okay. 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 It does not. Reach for a creature.
What you looking at?
I'm looking at one of my channel divinities,
Uh-huh.
and I think I can only do to one, not all of them.
What are you thinking?
Because what I wanted to do with the channel divinity nature's wrath
That is one, yeah.
Yeah, I was being like, oh, can I grab all these fuckers in front of me? I'm like, oh no, that's the.
You grab a group.
Don't kill them, remember?
Oh, I didn't want to kill them, but just yeeted them up in the air and held them in vines. So they wouldn't have been a problem. But instead of that one, I can. But they are afraid of. I don't want to hurt you.
What you doing?
Because I can't run past them because then they'll just go whap 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 whap.
So there is a space here that you can get. They look less like they're going to hurt you and more like they're trying to just subdue. So the thought is if you like
So I could try to just run.
you can attempt to run past them. You can't run through them. You can't run through their space.
Okay,
Actually, I
so
lied. What size are you?
small.
No, they have to be large. So yeah. And there's 3 of them essentially occupying a
Yes, I
smaller
am
space.
small.
So you can attempt to run around and dash past them if you would like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So be like 5, 10, 15.
So as you get there, this group is going to attempt to grab you. They're effectively
Yes.
holding their action to grab anybody that close, but unfortunately Oleander was. So you need to make a. Oh yeah, let me hide you really quick. I'll fix that. I promise. Next time. All right. So as you get there, they attempt to grab you. So this is going to be a grapple check. So you need to make an athletics or acrobatic, athletics or acrobatics.
We're gonna do acrobatics.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, they get an automatic +3, so that's 8 plus 3 plus 2.
Ignore that second
so
one.
That's a 13. These people grab you, so you're effectively grappled, as these 3 are easily pounce you in this moment. You can use an action to try to break free, or you can try to do something else.
Haha. Fuck.
You still have javelins.
If I break free, I would still have movement, but trying to move away from them, would it still do a chance for them to grab me again?
No, so they use your reaction to try to grab you. If you run, you imagine they all are readying their action. So if you get within 5 feet of this guy, he's potentially going to do that. Them or this group, they're going to do that as well.
Okay. I'm gonna attempt to try to get out of the grapple.
Okay, so that is going to be another. So that's using your action. So you need to make me a. If I'm not mistaken, it's a strength saving throw. No, it's an athletics or acrobatics.
We're gonna try acrobatics again, and hopefully the dice tell a better story.
They do not. You try to wiggle, and they just whoa! All of them kind of chant into your face. Okay, bonus action. Anything for that? I don't think you have anything, unfortunately.
Not what's gonna work.
Okay.
They're just muttering. They're just really mad. Like, fucking let me go. Like, what the fuck is this? I ain't trying to hurt you. Shit. I'm just trying to run past you.
Next is Dr. Thomas. You are effectively surrounded by these mycelium creatures that are covered in cicadas.
Okay. Let's see here. All right. I think now he actually is. He's like, you know what? Actually, that mutagen formula that I have on me that I thought I shouldn't use, I think I'm gonna use it. So with his, he's got his flaming rapier in one hand, and then as a bonus action, he's gonna actually probably has to hold the cane part, the sheath, in his teeth for a second. It doesn't provide any bonus. He just wants to make sure he doesn't lose it. So holds that in his teeth, reaches into his belt, and pulls out a syringe with his special mutagen formula in it. You know, the one the
Chemical
extra good stuff. He's like, this doesn't help with the vampirism, but it does give me some extra juice. So he's gonna stab himself and push in the plunger and inject himself with the celerity formula, which bumps his dexterity score by 3.
Very nice.
And also increases his maximum dexterity by the same amount. So he currently has a 21 dexterity.
Nice.
Very cool.
Which also bumps up his AC by another 1. And his attack bonus and damage. So he's going to use that and attack the one due south of him with the rapier.
All right.
So the to hit here is at an additional +1.
All right.
And that's going to be a 22 to hit.
Hey, that hits.
Hey, yeah, my first.
Yay.
It was the attack rolls against. It was the attack rolls and damage against me this time, but my attack roll was fine. And then
did it.
the damage. Ooh, 15 plus a D4
Okay.
is gonna be. Ooh, Jesus, maximum 19 points of damage to the one due south.
One due south, you watch as quickly, with a flourish and extravagance, as Dr. Thomas seems to kind of move, their body begins to like almost look like they're vibrating a bit as they get a little bit of energy. Quickly, you dissected that mycelium underneath that area, and you find all the sweet spots that's holding this creature together, and you quickly with your rapier begin to just sever those pieces like you're severing tendons from bones, and they just clatter all into a cloud of like soft spores that lift, and there's the ooh turns into an audible shriek as they all the faces turn to you, and that one singular eye focuses heavily on you once again.
Oh dear. Hi everyone. All right, well that's
That
his
thing's
turn.
still up.
Okay. Oh no, it's dead.
Sweet.
Skull.
It's dead. All right. Next up, after Dr. Thomas is.
Mortar mushroom.
Oh god. Oh god.
Okay. Yeah. Dr. Thomas, you watch as one launches.
Oh no.
Fuck. 18 to hit.
See, that's one higher than the new age.
I rolled a 14.
I know, hey, you know.
All right.
Blood hunters.
Okay. I roll really shit with damage, to be honest. So it's 3 bludgeoning.
Okay.
And 3 poison.
That's just one more than it takes to bring him unconscious.
And it just Dr. Thomas hits, and then the cloud of spores explode, and Dr. Thomas just drops as the second one launches a bit higher and a bit further, and it's going to aim toward Gallus.
We talked during the session 0 that trying to bring somebody
Roll
up
that
when we're
one.
at 0 is just pointless, right?
Wait, say it again? It depends on their turn.
Oh, okay, cool. Never mind then.
Sometimes the turns fall really shitty.
Oh,
sometimes
right.
It's
I'm
better
looking
for
at it
you
now.
to
Yeah,
use your
never
action
mind.
economy to do other stuff and let them roll.
Never mind.
But that was a natural one, as it goes. It doesn't seem to launch as high or as far enough, like it didn't gauge well enough, and it impacts the ground about right here. All right, next up is the villagers.
Well.
Oh yeah, you herded it. All right, so these villagers are going to be making some moves. They're going to hold on to you. These guys are going to get up from prone, and they are going to rush you, Oleander. Just kind of grab it. So you need to make me a dexterity save, or I'm sorry, an acrobatics or athletics. I'm contesting their natural fucking 1.
Athletics
so
save?
5. I'm sorry.
Athletics save?
No, athletics or acrobatics. I'm sorry, I misspoke.
Oh, I got it.
Yep. You need to beat a
14.
yeah, they rolled a natural 1+. So yeah, so you're able to quickly dodge out of the way of them. These guys are going to 5, 10, 15. They're rushing toward Dr. Thomas's corpse.
Oleander just puts
Corpse?
puts out a meaty. Oleander just puts out a meaty paw and it's just like, now stay back.
20,
And then just
25,
palms them.
yeah, 30. These three grab Dr. Thomas's body and kind of pull it and lift it. So the three of them are holding
Uh-oh.
Dr. Thomas's unconscious body just like open to the sky. These two kind of shift around. This one's going to attempt to Brittany, go to roll me, or Bud, go to roll me a acrobatics or athletics. Rolled another fucking natural one. I'm putting these dice away.
Swear to fucking God.
These dice away.
Okay, that was better. 22.
And you need to roll one more. That's a little better. That's a 13.
11.
Okay, you are currently grappled by 6 villagers. All right. Next
Okay.
up is
Hi, Gallus. How's it going, bud?
No, it's fine.
Oleander. You are up.
Oh, beans.
Okay. Yeah.
Reminder,
I'm gonna gesture.
I will
towards
remind
the-
everybody, you each have a healing potion.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. That would be
Y'all
helpful,
each get a healing potion at the start of every mission, so it's a
Yeah.
basic healing potion.
gonna-
So make sure to add this to your character sheets.
Just gonna suddenly, while being grappled, point my head at the big fucking mushroom at the end.
Yeah. I mean, monk melee.
I know.
It's gonna take me 2 turns to get
I
there.
know. Throw your chair.
Yeah.
Throw the chair.
That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to think about this. So, right. So I'm gonna just use my action to dash and get myself. I think if I stay outside of these guys' reach, I can. Like if I
I'm
go
gonna try to go south here and then run across this line.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70.
Ayo. You did dash, but the guys are going to try to. Oh no, they can't. No, they can't because they're not going to attack you. They're not trying to attack. They're trying to grapple. An attack opportunity is like attack roll. All right. Yeah, you watch as Oleander quickly hops over those open graves with a quick little life jump between this one and this one.
And I use my. Sorry, I wanted to switch to have my use a key point to use that as a bonus action to
Sure.
dash.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So you still have your action.
Yeah. So and then I'm gonna use my action to huck a hand axe at that
Right.
thing. I have a hand axe. He kind of pulls it from his back, gives it a spin. Come on! 12 to hit.
Yes.
12 hits.
All right. 4.
His AC is 6.
9 slashing damage.
All right. Accompanying the javelin, you watch as the hand axe embeds itself in the mycelium, and some of it tries to grow around the head of the axe, and it rears in pain, kind of like shifting. The eye now focused on you. It was focused on Dr. Thomas. Now it's on you.
Hello!
All right. Next up are the vessels.
Yep. Bring it.
Well, you're being held. Okay, so first one, going to start off with you, Gallus. Fuck, I'm rolling absolute shit for
That's
them.
fine.
That's a 9 to hit for that one.
No.
This one was going to go for you, but he's going to actually, I'm going to start here. Yep. Going to turn heal, go 5, 10, 20, 30. It'll dash to get right up here. It's going to try to defend as much as possible, turning its aids on you.
They're banned.
Yeah. 10, 20, 30. It has to dash. It's going to try to get up right up on you. And this guy is
Oh, not for much longer.
20, 30. This one actually can make it to try to make an attack against you, Oleander.
Minus a D4.
Which is
Cicadas crawling all over it.
the natural 18,
Minus 4.
which I did roll a -4. So
Yes!
they have a. Okay, wait. Well, don't tell them 18 yet. Because it's a natural 18 plus 3, which will put it at 21. -4 is a 17.
That hits.
Okay. Bane is super fun.
Do some work, cicadas.
Oh, wait. Keep this one. Oh no, I had the right one. That is 6 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch. Okay.
Oh fuck, they have this thing. How much damage did you do, Sam? 19?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna roll on the table. I forget they have this. They have undead fortitude.
Oh.
Oh wait, no. They can't even roll above it, because 19 plus 5 is 24. They can't roll above that.
Okay.
So, never mind. All right, that is it for them.
Interesting.
Gallus, it is your go.
Okay. Oh, that's temporary hit points. Okay. Okay. Calm down. I'm grappled. Dr. Thomas is over there having a time. I am concentrating on Bane. I don't really want that to drop.
Good that none of the villagers are currently trying to hurt people.
Yeah, that helps. Fuck! Is it disadvantage on ranged spell attacks, or is it just ranged weapon attacks?
All of it, yeah.
Okay.
Any ranged.
Well, no sense playing safe. Gonna go elbow deep into his mouth. Pull out another wasp.
Okay.
Second level stinging wasp, aka guiding bolt on the mushroom thingy.
All right.
So disadvantaged.
Sweet creeper, yeah.
Oh yeah, might as well since.
Hey, natural 1.
Oh.
Oh.
That'll do it.
Oh dang.
It flies past, and the wasp kind of explodes in divine light.
Of course.
It was worth a shot. That was
alright.
that was the
It
smart.
was a
move.
good. I mean,
I think that was the smart.
they have a
move.
really low AC.
The luck was
If you
bad.
didn't roll a natural 1, you would have hit it.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't do anything again.
So stay put.
Bonus action. I'm just gonna fucking shrug. That's my turn.
But it's your go.
Fuck these bastards. Okay, so I have 6 of them currently smushing me.
Yes.
They're like piling on.
Yeah, they are.
So I'd have to do 2 acrobatics checks to get out.
It's just a higher DC.
You know what? I think that's I got the 2 targets.
Why
And it's
didn't I take
acrobatics
healing
or
word?
athletics that you can do
Why
to try to
did-
break free.
Why didn't I take healing word?
I'll do. I will try to. Wait, did you say athletics or acrobatics?
Yes, to try to break free. The DC
Uh,
is 16.
I
I'll
will
set
try
that bonus for you.
acrobatics.
All right.
I might just have to do that on my next turn.
The coin shard thing. Please help me.
Oh, he's long dead.
You know what? But that fucker helped me. 21.
So you are able to. You're able to break free. So you are no longer in their grasp. What would you like to do?
Fuck this shit. I'm out, and I am. If I'm wiggling away, because I'd be wiggling away from
Those two, yeah.
those 2.
Mhm.
would I be able to just, if I'm underneath them, right? If I'm like there for like,
I knew
you
were
know,
gonna
you know what
ask.
I mean?
Yes, yes.
I'd
You can wiggle on the other side.
I'd be like, fuck that, like nope, we're
Yep.
okay, cool. I'm assuming these are open graves that are here.
Yes, they are. Yes.
Okay, I don't want to eat shit on open graves.
Yeah, I
But
would
if
make you roll.
Yeah.
Oleander has the advantage of just being a monk and being quick. You would need a roll.
So we will.
Those little stubby legs.
That'd be a dex, maybe. Maybe. Okay, so I got that was like 5 feet.
Yeah.
5, 10,
There is a
15.
target here. That
Ah.
is just trying to attack Gallus as they
They're
are
failing
being
miserably.
held. And is failing really badly, but is there.
I will. Okay. 5, 10. I would like to try and hop over this.
Okay, roll an acrobatics check.
Oh no.
It's okay. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's cool. Everything's fine. Everything is a
Pretty low
flourish
DC.
20.
Okay, so you do make it.
You just these little. I'm coming, Gallus. You fuck, and just.
And all right.
And then I'm gonna get to here because this grave is obviously not. It's not dug up.
Uh,
And right in front, I would like to do the channel divinity nature's wrath.
okay. Okay.
Okay, and
What's
against
the save?
so strength or dex saving throw, DC 12.
Okay, they have a +1. I imagine you're trying to do it against this guy here.
Yeah.
You roll. He is not there. That is a 11. That is a failure. So
Oh!
the roots from the ground kind of climb up and pull the creature. Or you said you wanted to hold it aloft. They spring up from the ground and they grab the creature and they kind of wrap it up as it's just like trying to like reach down to Gallus and free itself. So it is considered
And so it's
restrained.
restrained, and it can repeat the saving throw at the end of each turn, freeing itself and divine spirit of success.
Good to know. Okay. Anything else?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. That was our action.
Yes.
No, I think that would be because on my movement. That was my action. I got out. Just yelling words of encouragement at Gallus.
All right. Dr. Thomas, I would like you to roll me a death saving throw to me only, please.
Okay.
Just out of context, if I'm trying to break out, is that my action to do so?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Let me document this. The sweet creeper is up next.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it has a target right here in front of
Oh,
it.
perfect. Yeah, go for him.
Oleander. You watch as the part of the mycelium breaks off, and these like floating tendrils give its way as you see now how it has creeped along in such a way, and it's going to try to. It actually brings them together almost like a downward slam towards you.
Oh.
Oh. Oh no.
A 6?
Oh, perfect.
No, I rolled really shit.
Does not eat.
Okay. As you jump back, it rears up again, and it's going to bring it down. It gets to attack. God, I rolled one higher, a 7. You were just jumping and doing jump flips,
quicker than that.
Jump rope.
effectively getting out of the way of it, and it kind of tremors and shakes in anger. The villagers are up next. This group is they all, I would say these 3 gather up, and now all have Dr. Thomas.
Oh no. At least we've killed one of them.
They begin to move as a unit. 5, 10,
Oh,
goodness.
towards the glowing grave, it looks like.
and they drop Dr. Thomas's body into this open grave.
Well,
Well,
shit.
And they move around, take points at each point of the grave, and they kind of like look and they hold their arms up. Ooh, they get a low chant into the open grave. All right.
Maybe this will cure
the
your
other villagers-
vampirism.
Oh my god, I'm not a vampire anymore. This is amazing. I'm gonna go home. Bye, everybody.
Now you're just a mushroom man.
Are going to. They're gonna try to run after you guys. Have them roll. Two of them roll. One will make it past. Oh my god. Okay. You watch this southern group as they're running. They completely forget and they fucking eat as they trample into the hole. And mind you, these are graves, so these are like 6-foot holes.
Yeah.
This is not just a fuck. Two. The second group also, these 6 of them watch, but as you watch and you look at them, and they're just focused on you as they just all of them drop into this hole. This one though,
shit.
is not as it runs forward.
I was gonna say, Bud's finally taller than them.
25. It does have some movement. So, Bud, I need you to make me a acrobatics or athletics check. You're trying to beat an 8.
Oh, easy.
Fuck
Oh.
you. It was on a 20, then it rolled.
Oh,
You are
no.
grappled once again.
Swear to God.
Oh boy.
Oleander, you are up.
What an
All
encounter.
right, so here are my options. I'm just gonna lay them out for the whole table.
Uh-huh.
I can attack this guy in front of me, and then do flurry of blows, and use my open hand technique to not take reactions and move forward to get right next to this thing. Or I can risk the reactions, go forward, and then do the full attack and flurry of blows on the thing.
Do what you're gonna do.
I'll let you
So-
know. The 3 that are surrounding you currently are still
Yeah.
baned. They are still covered by cicadas.
Yeah.
So your likelihood of a reaction, they have been rolling really dog shit.
Yeah.
And you probably have one of the higher ACs currently.
Cool. I am going to then move forward 1 so that I am in melee range. Is that true that I'm in melee range at that
You will be a
point?
melee. Yeah.
Okay.
Then I will do that.
I need to roll because that is a 17. -3 is a 14 for the first.
Okay, that's good.
Cicadas everywhere.
It's a 2.
Deafening.
It's a 1. It's
deafening,
a 1. So yeah, definitely misses.
Deafening.
Okay,
cicadas.
great. I will
Just surround
then.
it.
All right, you beauty. Time for you to shine.
And pulls out his adamantine battle axe and
Goes down to chop down a thing.
All right.
it's gonna give a couple swings at that guy, or just one swing. I guess two-handed.
I'm going to ask you, what are you attempting to swing at? This is
Gosh,
pertinent to what you can do.
I mean, I guess the business end, the eye.
Okay.
I guess.
So you're
Yeah.
not hitting an object. Okay.
Right? Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah.
No worries. Yeah. What'd you roll?
21 to hit.
21 will hit. Yes.
All right. For 9 damage. And I will use my final key point to do flurry of blows.
All right.
And so he goes, makes that swing, connects, releases with one hand, and then backhands this thing.
Uh-huh.
With a, we'll see how he does. 18 to hit.
Yeah. The DC is, its AC is 6. I think a lot of the only way that y'all are going to miss is if you roll a natural 1.
For 6 damage.
Cool.
6 damage. All right.
For 6 damage.
Uh-huh.
And then second attack 15 to hit
Hits.
for 8 damage.
All right. You just begin pump. The axe sinks in, and as you use the axe for a moment, you leverage it out, but then you're quick with your follow-ups. Pop, pop. You just heavy dwarven hand just slam into this body of this creature as it rears and looks pissed. The eye kind of focuses more on you. All right. Is that it for you?
Yeah, you mentioned. Can I get as I end my turn?
Sure.
Can I get an idea of what is going on here with this thing? You like another refresher? Because you mentioned
there is a tsunami level of mycelium that is spilling out of this crypt doorway and windows.
Yeah.
And it's growing up the wall now, so you can't actually physically see into the crypt anymore. There is so much in this mycelium. You imagine with the size of this building, it's probably has been feeding off of anything that has been buried within this crypt.
Okay.
Cool.
So it looks like it's been having a little feast.
All right.
Cool.
Okay. It is the vessel's turn. The first one is restrained. So, Bud, what does it need to do against your restrained?
Is DC 12 either?
Nope, it fails. I roll a 6 plus 1, so 7.
Sorry, I couldn't hear that you said Bud, and I was like, huh?
No worries. These guys are going to move into. This guy has to kind of go around because there's a pillar here. They're going to surround you, but Oleander. So the northern one, they do have 5 minus 2, so that's not going to hit. 6 minus 3, so a 3. 10 mince 4, so a 6 plus 4. Yeah, none of those hit.
Gallus, you
Good.
my
Yeah,
bacon.
those cicadas are fucking.
They're rolling really low, though.
Gallus, it is your go.
Okay. It feels pointless to focus on the villagers and this guy in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Do it with a disadvantage again. I'm gonna use no more second level spell slots. I'm gonna use my second first level spell slot. Reach into the hollows, explode another glowing wasp. Work this time.
So you're not. I would say you're not at disadvantage because these guys are not considered hostile at the moment. This guy is restrained, so he's not
perfect.
considered like. These guys are just holding you. They're not. They're not
Okay.
actually like violent.
So
yet.
just a straight roll then.
Straight roll.
All right, work. Throw the wasp. Please, I have a +6 to hit. Come on.
All you need to do is roll a 2 or up.
12 to hit.
There you go. That hit.
$12 radiant damage.
12 radiant damage. Another big fucking hit by the wasp. It rears back, and you see some of the mycelium begin to like break off, like hold, like lose its hold on the walls and things like that.
And then
Anything else?
I'm still grappled.
You are still grappled, yes.
No, because none of my bonus actions are really useful right now. So that's it.
I'm sorry. Bud, it is your go.
So this thing is taking some good ass damage. The thing in front of me is restrained. We got our homeboy in the grave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only got 30 feet of fucking movement, and I calculated it. If I move 30 feet this way, I only get to there, and I
Can't
can't.
move there yet because you're grappled.
Yeah.
So your movement speed is 0.
Okay, this is fine. This is fine. This is fine.
Still have javelins. This is the time where you need to stop worrying about someone dead in a grave.
We're gonna
That's my friendly advice. Is you have plenty of enemies to try to get rid of.
fuck the
And
grave.
Oleander is doing a fuck ton of damage to this thing. It is glowing.
Yeah, so now
So-
the next attack on its advantage.
Yes.
The wasp just flying around it.
That is just my friendly advice. You do whatever you want, but
Throwing the javelin while grappled, is it... Would it be disadvantage or just straight because of Justin's?
Straight. Yeah.
it would be straight because of Justin's, but it's out of your range. Again, these guys are not considered violent or hostile. They are just meant to be obstacles. They want you to be part of their group. So they are not considered technically hostile toward you. So you can throw it, but it's outside of your distance range. But
So the guiding bolt makes it a straight roll.
the guiding bolt makes it an advantage. So it would be a straight roll.
I'm just going to try to yeet the javelin then.
Yeah, it's 65 feet. All right. Straight roll.
17.
Do you want to add anything to that?
I would like to do the smiting.
There you go. All right.
Yes. Once you hit or before
You do it once you hit, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
make it
thank you
once
for
you
Yeah,
clarification.
You don't want to. Yeah.
In 2024, you don't get that option. It's
No.
like a spell, essentially.
Which is why 2024
So
rules are
sucks.
dumb.
Poop. Big poop.
Okay, so for the piercing damage, it's gonna be 4 total. And the Divine Smite coming in hot is... much fucking better. 12 radiant
Nice.
damage.
That is a lot better as this thing begins to tremor and shake. Oleander, you have a nice view of the mycelium now. Just like it's the eye is kind of like it's top heavy, so it's like it's having to shift, and it's a central stalk that is kind of like a much firmer stalk in the middle that is holding it really aloft. That is kind of it's starting to sway. It is so close. Death.
Oh, Dr. Thomas.
Is that it for you, bud?
Yeah, because I guess I can't shimmy out because that would be an action.
Dr. Thomas, before you make your roll,
Mhm.
I want you to roll me a percentile dice.
Okay. Publicly or to just you?
You can roll publicly.
Okay.
What's this shit?
53, right down the middle.
Okay. As those of you cannot see this,
No.
Dr. Thomas, your body is thrown with a force into the ground. You're not dumb.
Mhm.
You equipped yourself. You know where to place certain things on your body. But being thrown into a grave
Oh,
6
no.
feet down, you feel an audible, or you would
I don't feel
an
anything.
audible crunch or crack. Well, you do. You're only unconscious. Your
Yeah,
body
fair.
still feels.
Yeah.
There's a
Oh,
crack,
no.
and it pierces into your leg. Go ahead and roll me 2d4 plus 4. As your
Oh,
potion of healing has
oh,
broken,
you're so nice.
and your body is used to finding a way.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you
Amazing.
could roll
Finds a
2d4
way.
plus 4.
12 maximum.
So you, for a moment, you wake up. You're part of your like the mutations in your body, like try to absorb to try to heal yourself. You don't want to be in a grave. You definitely don't want to be buried alive. So you come back with 12 hit points. You are laying at the bottom of a grave in a coffin that is partly ruined, 6 feet under.
Okay. So start of my turn or end of my turn?
Start of your turn.
Oh, okay. So, fun fact: the none of his stuff goes away when he goes unconscious. The sword's still on fire.
Excellent.
Part of that coffin is catching a bit.
Oh, and you can easily get out of the grave too by just doop, boop, boop, boop.
Oh,
yep.
one thing you will note,
Mhm.
the and I'll let you play with that too. You technically, I won't let you have to be prone in this moment since you have a wall that your feet can
Oh, yeah,
touch.
you
You
can
just walk. The mycelium in here are like. There's a moment where you already started to feel some of them start to try to attach to you. Since this ground is full of those roots.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Okay. So I'm trying to remember what is the ones over by the ones surrounding Oleander.
Mhm.
Are those aren't the villagers? Those are the
There's just the cicadas. The villagers are north of you and surrounding Gallus and
Yeah.
Bud at the moment. This is all major enemies over here.
yeah. Okay, then
The ire.
okay. So if it's 6 feet down, so that'd probably be basically like a 5 foot space to get
5
to
foot
the
step
top.
up. Mhm.
So 5 foot step up, and then he's gonna go just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just come running out of the grave. Just, yeah.
Y'all watch Dr. Thomas just ascend ooh, out of the grave, taking a heavy step and just beginning to launch himself forward. All right.
And I'm
Dr.
just gonna
Thomas, I thought we'd lost you.
come running up with the blade and try and stab it through the back of this thing's head.
All right.
Wow, it's a nat 1 though.
Amazing.
We don't do flanking,
I know.
if I don't remember.
No.
I don't
Yeah,
think
I
we
don't
do.
think so.
Okay.
Well, I don't.
Well, that could have gone better, but hi.
I think we established at the beginning that we don't do flanking either.
Yeah.
That was part of our rules.
Well, I'm still up though. That's nice.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what the dice said. That happens. Hey,
Yes.
I'm up though. I'll
Um,
take it.
It is the sweet creeper's turn. Oleander, you have done the most damage to it, so it is going to turn its ire onto
Hello.
you. It's going to attempt to slam at you twice. That's better. That is a 17 to hit.
That hits.
Oh no.
All right. No one's been affected by the slam before.
Uh-oh.
But a good thing is, y'all are. So that is 9 bludgeoning,
Okay.
and you only take half of this. It would be 6 psychic, but you only take 3, since you have no attachments to it yet.
Ah.
Yet.
And for the second, that's an actual 14 plus 4, 18 to hit.
Wait, what?
It gets 2 slam attacks.
So yeah, I just did 8 damage and 4 damage.
8 damage and 3 damage.
8 damage and 3 damage.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
All right. Yeah, the other one hits.
Again, I roll really shit with damage. That is 3 bludgeoning.
Uh-huh.
I hell. It would be 2 reduced to 1.
Oh,
I rolled a 2 on the dice.
that's fun.
So 2 of the just slam into you. It is a villager's go. These guys are trying to clamber out, but they can't. These guys are humming. They did not recognize
They're what?
you yet. Chanting, I'm sorry.
It's
Sorry, Gallus. I'm so sorry. These are holding on to them. This one's gonna try to grab you, Gallus. Roll me another test. Actually, no, I'm not gonna have that. They're gonna break free.
oh.
Party Grande said.
I'm no
they're
longer
gonna start
grappled.
10, 20, 30, and they're dashing. They are running.
Ooh, Gallus is no
full
longer
fucking
grappled.
spin.
This changes everything.
10, 15, 20, 25,
Oh,
30.
fuck.
They are trying to save 10, 20.
You're trying to save the tree.
And dashing. They are effectively trying to surround y'all.
Oh boy.
They're gonna get. Yep. There. 5. There.
Oh, hi everybody.
Are dashing. These guys, I'm gonna say they clamber up and they just managed to get up here.
So I'm no longer grappled then, yes.
Neither you or Bud are grappled. That was their action. I'm gonna let them dash. Give them an extra 30 feet as they run around you, Bud. And these guys are gonna run around the grave.
No, we need to save this.
Yeah.
There's just a dillweed in
right
front of
here.
me at the vines.
Yeah. The villagers all are just they you see they're openly sobbing. Those different forms. You watch as some of them are actually dropping off of their heads, but they still seem to be under the Oleander. It is your go. What would you like to do?
I would like to attack it with my battle axe.
Okay. Please don't roll it up.
All right, here we go. That's a 14 to hit.
14 hits.
Two-handed.
9 damage.
How would you like to do this?
Hey.
Exactly 9 damage.
Yes.
I see it's getting a little wobbly. I aim right at its connection to the ground, and I just give it a get off of me.
All right. With a swift, heavy swing of your axe, you cleave through this mushroom stalk. It is thick, but it's already losing a lot of its hold. As you cleave through it, there is a shriek from like a high-pitched squeal that amplifies as every villager around you holds their head, and you watch as like their nose begins to bleed as each of them drop. The 4 remaining undead vessels, the mycelium is still attached, but they just drop dead as well. Their forms just fall. As the scream ends and the cemetery falls silent. We'll go ahead and end it there because we're well overpast. But we'll go ahead and pick up
Excellent.
on this next week. Next week?
No.
Next time. Next month.
Yeah, we'll be back for this. We record the next session, April 30th. So you'll be able to watch this May 1st.
Cool. Well, yeah.
Goodbye.
So, bye everybody.
Goodbye.